Okay, so the briefing starts and it's straight up intense. They're talking about a super dangerous organization. Apparently, this group was trying to buy a weapon, and the US and Korea teamed up to find the researcher behind it, Eden Gardner. Ijin's getting the lowdown from a stern-looking military dude, but they're holding back details naturally. The military guy explains they're trying to track down this Eden Gardner who created the weapon, but things get complicated. They're in a massive briefing room, and it's clear this is a big operation with tons of people involved. But here's the kicker: the organization wanting the weapon is seriously dangerous, and they might already have it. The military guy lays it out: Eden Gardner is the key. They need to find him to figure out where the weapon is now. Ijin's listening intently, but he's realizing there's a real chance this weapon has already been sold on the black market. However, even if it hasn't been sold, it could have been moved, making the search even harder. No way. The big takeaway: they have to find whoever is behind this, because Eden Gardner is the only way to locate the weapon. Ijin drops a bomb. He used to be this Eden Gardner's bodyguard, specifically protecting his wife and family. The military guy is shocked, and honestly, so am I. This dude was protecting the creator of the weapon they're chasing. We cut to Eden Gardner's wife, and she's instantly recognizing Ijin, freaking out about him being a mercenary. She demands to know why he's here, but Ijin just stares her down, totally unfazed by her panic. Ijin stays silent, and the wife starts rambling about how her husband is a genius and definitely wouldn't create a weapon. But Ijin isn't buying it. He knows Eden Gardner is capable of anything, and this whole situation is getting sketchier by the second. He finally speaks, revealing he was hired to protect them from threats related to that weapon, and things just got real. The wife tries to play it cool, but her face says it all. She's hiding something, and Ijin sees right through it. Ijin's posture shifts, and it's clear he's entering full mercenary mode, sizing up the situation and everyone in the room. He doesn't say anything, but his intense gaze is enough to send a clear message: he's not here to play games. The wife is not letting Ijin leave without finishing his meal, straight up refusing to let him go. Ijin tries to explain he has an appointment, but she's totally blocking him. No arguments accepted. She doubles down, insisting he finish his plate because he's a growing boy and can't live off energy bars. She even calls for Michael to sit down and eat too. This woman is a force of nature, I swear. Ijin and Michael reluctantly start eating, and it's hilariously awkward, like a forced family moment. Apparently, the dad walks in and sees the whole scene unfolding, looking totally bewildered. The wife is explaining everything to the dad, and Ijin's expression is priceless. He's judging hard. The dad just stares at Ijin, and it's clear he's realizing something big is going on. Something is off. The wife is getting increasingly frantic, and the dad is looking at Ijin with suspicion. The tension is building. Then the wife blurts out that she's been hiding something, and this whole meal was a distraction. What is happening? Okay, so the dad's getting the story. Apparently, a researcher was kidnapped and forced to work for Ida. He's looking at a passport photo, and it's clear this is serious, like top secret intel serious. Ijin straight up says he'll talk to the researcher. No hesitation. Our boy is all business right now. But things take a turn because someone's clearly getting ready to ambush Ijin with a blade. Ijin moves faster than the eye can see, dodging the attack, and honestly, this dude had it coming. He disarms the attacker with insane precision, and his face is totally blank, zero emotion. Dad is shocked, and Ijin calmly states he's well aware of the danger, like it's nothing. The dad apologizes but says this is urgent, trying to explain why everything's so chaotic. However, Ijin's face is unreadable. He's definitely holding back, and something's brewing. Ijin just stares, and it's clear he's already piecing everything together, a silent promise of action. Ijin steps forward, each stride deliberate, and the tension is seriously building with every step sound effect. He reaches the door and throws it open with a clang, revealing the researcher, but something feels off. The researcher looks up, confused, and Ijin's expression is stone cold. He's sizing this guy up, no doubt. The researcher asks him, and Ijin just stares him down, a silent, intense moment of assessment. Ijin's face is completely blank, and it's clear he's already figured out something isn't right with this whole situation. He's gripping the doorknob, and you can tell he's ready to react to anything, a coiled spring of deadly force. A close-up of the researcher shows he's definitely hiding something. Those eyes are shifty, bro. Another close-up and the researcher is looking right at Ijin, a subtle smirk playing on his lips. No way this is good. Ijin's eyes narrow and he's definitely caught onto the researcher's game. This dude is not fooled for a second. The researcher's face is now fully visible and he's giving off major villain vibes. This is about to get real. The researcher casually drops that Ijin was just a kid 3 years ago, then says he's grown up so much. Talk about awkward. Ijin doesn't respond and the researcher seems genuinely confused by the silence, but our boy is clearly processing. The researcher asks if it's been 3 years and Ijin just stares him down. This is where it gets intense. The researcher spills that he's been looking for Ijin, using Major Kang as a way to finally make contact. Smooth but creepy. The researcher claims his family talked about Ijin even after he left and even tried to find him. Major red flags are waving. Ijin's face is unreadable, but you can tell he's not buying any of this. Straight up zero trust. He declares he can't trust anyone and honestly, we're right there with him, bro. The researcher continues, saying he was actually looking for Ijin and used Major Kang as a potential way to reach him. Ijin's expression remains stoic, but it's clear he's piecing everything together and a plan is forming. Ijin's face is a mask and the researcher is completely oblivious. This dude thinks he's in control, but he is so wrong. The researcher is laying it on thick, saying after Sarah passed away he just wanted to be alone, but then got kidnapped. Talk about a sob story. But Ijin's not falling for it. He's seen enough to know this dude is spinning a web of lies and is totally unfazed. Okay, so our boy Jin is scoping out this compound with another mercenary, prepping for a mission. Turns out they're looking for the best mercenary in the region, and everyone's super confident Jin is that guy. This big, intimidating dude is briefing a blonde woman, and he straight up says Jin is the best of the best. The woman seems surprised because Jin is younger than expected, to say the least. But the briefing dude isn't worried. He heard about the situation and says Jin's age shouldn't even be a concern. He also drops that their country is here to help the local government, which is a little suspicious, right? The woman looks skeptical but seems to accept it, glancing at Jin as he walks into the room. And honestly, Jin just looks focused, like he's already 3 steps ahead of everyone else. The woman's still clearly processing everything, staring at Jin with a worried expression. But it's clear this dude is a professional, and the woman knows they need his skills, whatever his age. The woman offers to cancel the contract if they don't like Jin, but straight up says time is ticking. She says getting a new mercenary will take a while, and she looks genuinely stressed about it. The briefing dude suggests they just make him uncomfortable and swap him out for someone else. Smooth. But Jin shuts that down immediately. No need to replace him. He's staying on the job. The woman admits honestly that no other organization has mercenaries with both a good reputation and skills like Jin's. Briefing dude confirms her thinking, saying Jin made a wise choice accepting the contract. He's confident there aren't many mercenaries who'd even volunteer for this dangerous job, honestly. We cut to a glimpse of the younger mercenary, and he looks completely unfazed by everything. The woman turns to face him, and you can tell she's assessing if she made the right call. And Jin just stares back, totally calm, like he already knows he's the only one who can handle this. Jin's family is all smiles, but he's got a serious look on his face. He doubts they really trust him. The family asks Jin to join them for dinner, hoping he'll finally loosen up and connect with them. But our boy refuses, stating he's there to guard them, not socialize. He's all business. The grandfather presses him, asking why not, and Jin lays down the law. He maintains professional distance. Everyone's seated at the table, and you can see Jin's keeping to himself, totally focused on the task. However, it's awkward as heck. The family tries to include him, but he's a stone wall. They're all eating and Jin's just there, a silent, watchful presence in the room. The woman attempts to break the ice, but Jin's not budging. This dude is locked in mercenary mode. He's just a bodyguard and straight up refuses to mingle with the people he's protecting. The family looks confused, but honestly, he's just doing his job and he's good at it. The woman begs Jin to just take a few bites, pleading with him to join the family meal. But Jin remains stoic, explaining he's focused on protecting them and eating would slow him down. He doubles down, straight up saying he doesn't eat with the people he's guarding. Talk about commitment. Grandfather and grandmother exchange worried glances, clearly concerned by Jin's rigid behavior. Jin stares off into space, lost in his own thoughts, while the family awkwardly continues eating. The woman tries again, asking if he'll at least have a few bites, desperate for him to relax. However, Jin just looks at her, completely unyielding. This dude is a fortress of professionalism. She's really pushing it now, but Jin's clearly not gonna budge from his bodyguard protocol. The family is seriously starting to feel the tension, and you can see it on their faces. And honestly, it's a bit sad. They just want him to be part of the family, but he's locked in. Family is at the table when suddenly, thunk, something hits the floor and everyone jumps. These soldiers are serious, decked out in tactical gear, and they're clearly here for a raid or something. Our boy Jin, though, he's already reacting, scanning the situation, and he's the only one who doesn't look shocked. He's moving, positioning himself between the soldiers and his family. This dude is a one-man wall. One of the soldiers tries to signal the team, but Jin is already on it, intercepting him with insane speed. The soldiers are getting orders, but Jin and his guy are already taking control of the situation, directing them. He's barking out commands, and the soldiers are surprisingly compliant. Apparently, someone here has authority. Jin's fully in command, masked and intimidating, and it's clear this operation is now under his control. The family is confused, asking why they've already eaten, but Jin just says he's reading and they shouldn't worry. He's totally downplaying the chaos, acting like everything is normal while soldiers fill the house. But then his uncle Michael arrives, totally hyped and stretching. What is with this guy? Michael asks Jin when he became a mercenary, and Jin just doesn't answer, still shrouded in mystery. Michael's wife calls him out for being rude, and honestly, she's right, the timing is awful. Jin finally speaks up, and it's clear he's not happy, and bro is straight up intimidating. Michael tries to smooth things over, but Jin is still giving him the cold shoulder, which is kinda harsh. We get a quick shot of a perfectly plated breakfast, but it feels irrelevant with all this tension. And then a glimpse of the outside. A huge, imposing building looms in the background. Michael asks again about when Jin became a mercenary, but Jin remains silent and the mystery deepens. They're playing cards, seemingly relaxed, but Jin's got this intense look. He's totally sizing someone up. Suddenly, another figure appears, all decked out in camo and gear, looking like a total soldier. This dude is serious. He's got a gun strapped to his back and a steely gaze, and Jin's eyes lock onto him. The soldier's face is mostly hidden, but you can see the intensity in his stare, and it's clear these two have history. Our boy is dashing across the plaza, weapon raised, seriously moving fast. A military jeep screeches onto the scene, attempting to block his path. It's a setup. He doesn't even hesitate, grabbing onto the side of the speeding vehicle like a pro. This dude leaps onto the hood of the jeep, ready for a fight. No way this is going to be clean. Boom, the jeep explodes in a fiery wreck, but our boy rolls off like it's nothing, honestly. An older man explains that an anti-government group ambushed the diplomats after learning they wouldn't cooperate with locals. They insisted on accompanying the diplomats, but the government soldiers brushed them off, and look how that turned out. It's going to take a rescue team to get these diplomats back, but time is running out, bro. Unless their demands are met, the kidnappers will straight up kill the hostages. The stakes are super high. This dude looks intensely focused, preparing for whatever comes next, and honestly, he's ready. He tells the team he'll handle things on the inside, while they cover the perimeter, talk about confidence. The squad leader gives the okay, looking surprisingly calm as everything goes sideways, bro. Our boy is surveying the military base from a distance, scoping out the layout and potential threats. He spots a group of soldiers milling around. They look unsuspecting, but this dude knows better. A sniper takes position on a vehicle, aiming down the sights, and it's clear they're targeting someone specific. The soldiers are patrolling the grounds, but they're clearly not expecting an attack from this angle. He's watching the whole scene unfold, calculating his next move, and honestly, it's intense. Two soldiers stand guard, but they're completely unaware of the danger lurking nearby, seriously. The sniper's scope is locked on a target, and it's clear they are about to pull the trigger, no hesitation. But something's blocking the sniper's view, a dark shape appearing from the shadows, and it's a game changer. No way, a soldier gets blasted, straight up headshot, and our boy is already reacting, moving like lightning. The team opens fire, explosions rocking the area, but this dude is calling it easy, saying they won't hit him. He's aiming down sights, taking out enemies one by one, marking them with precise shots. It's a massacre. He's got a clear shot at the base, and he's lining it up perfectly, but is it a distraction? Boom, an explosion rocks the base, and the soldiers are scrambling, totally caught off guard, bro. However, he's already moving, a blur of motion, taking out more enemies before they can react seriously. He's cutting down soldiers left and right, but wait, there are way more of them than we thought. The soldiers are swarming, but our boy is still standing, a lone figure against a tide of enemies. A vehicle speeds towards the base, and someone yells at the team to not stray too far. Jin's gotta be protected. But it looks like someone's already down, a leg sticking out, and it's not looking good for them. He's dashing through the base, weaving through gunfire like it's nothing, honestly. But soldiers are closing in, and they're definitely starting to suspect something's off about this kid. They demand to know who he's associated with, like he's gonna just spill the beans, bro. One soldier raises his gun, ready to fire, but our boy is already anticipating the move. He disarms the soldier with insane speed, a swift move, and the gun goes flying. Another soldier steps up, and this dude's about to get taken out. It's happening so fast. However, our boy intercepts, grabbing the gun before it can fire, straight up snatching it. He's turning the tables, pointing the stolen weapon right back at the soldiers. They're shocked. The soldiers are demanding to know what he's doing, but he just stares them down, cold as ice. And then a voice cuts through the tension. Someone's calling his name, and it's a total cliffhanger. He unleashes a flurry of shots, taking down multiple soldiers in rapid succession. It's brutal, but effective. One soldier falls with a thud while another goes down. This dude is mowing them all down. But then someone else appears, gun drawn, and it's a total surprise attack. Our boy didn't see that coming. He barely reacts though, spinning around and firing back. Seriously, his reflexes are insane. Another soldier drops, but the new shooter keeps coming. This is a close quarters firefight, no doubt. He fires again, but the soldier dodges. However, our boy anticipates and delivers a swift kick. The soldier goes flying, crashing into another downed enemy, and honestly, this dude had it coming. He's checking the perimeter, scanning for any more threats. This guy is still on high alert. But he spots two more soldiers taking aim. They think they can ambush him. Big mistake. He swiftly ducks behind cover, assessing the situation. This dude is a tactical genius, straight up. One of the soldiers asks who gave the orders to search the hostages, and this dude looks seriously suspicious. He claims he was ordered to check the belongings, but another soldier calls him out. Really now? The leader demands to know who authorized this, and his glare could cut steel. But before anyone can answer, a sniper shot rings out, and it's aimed right at our boy. He barely ducks, but the bullet grazes his face. No way, that was close. The entire room erupts in gunfire, and it's a total bloodbath, splatter everywhere. He's moving, weaving through the chaos, and returning fire with pinpoint accuracy. He's sprinting now, leaving a trail of fallen enemies behind him, straight up unstoppable. He bursts through a door and keeps running, dodging debris and bullets as he goes. He takes a step into a new room, looks abandoned, but the fight isn't over, not even close. He scans the room, realizing it's a storage area filled with supplies, perfect for a quick ambush, honestly. But he spots a soldier already setting up a trap, and our boy reacts instantly, kicking a box into the guy's face. It's a brutal takedown, and he's already moving to disarm the next enemy before they even blink. Okay, so the episode kicks off with a full-on raid, soldiers storming a base. It's intense right away. They're moving fast, sweeping the area, but it's super methodical, like they've done this a million times. Our boy Ijin is with them, moving like a ghost through the chaos, keeping pace with the team. They breach a building and things get tight. It's all quick steps and weapon checks, seriously pro. The team leader is straight up struggling, winded after the sprint, saying he's sorry for being slow. Ijin doesn't even flinch, just silently takes the lead, completely unfazed by the situation. He's grabbing a rifle, checking the chamber, and honestly, it's terrifying how natural this is for a high schooler. The team leader looks shocked, realizing Ijin is on another level, like a seasoned veteran. Ijin shoulders the rifle, ready for whatever comes next. This dude doesn't even break a sweat, no way. He's already moving, leading the charge, and it's clear he's about to take control of everything. Ijin opens fire, straight up mowing down the first two enemies before they can react. It's brutal, but efficient. He keeps firing, taking out another guy, then another, moving like a machine, no hesitation, just pure instinct. Two more soldiers rush in, but Ijin's already anticipating them, dropping them with quick, precise shots. This dude is a monster. Boom, a grenade explodes, shaking the whole place, but Ijin doesn't even flinch. He's already rolling with the impact. He slides, weapon still locked on target, and fires again. Boom, boom, taking out another enemy while barely moving. Ijin's got one last enemy in his sights, but suddenly someone else takes the shot and gets a clean headshot. He checks the downed soldier, confirming the kill, then realizes it's one of his team. It's a little too late for apologies. Ijin spots another sniper aiming at the team leader and immediately drops to one knee, providing cover. The sniper fires, but Ijin's already moved, creating an opening for the team leader to return fire. Ijin checks the pulse of the fallen soldier, no response, and his expression is stone cold, no emotion at all. Ijin's already ordering everyone to fall back. He knows this mission is spiraling out of control. A woman in a suit arrives on the scene, looking furious. She clearly wasn't expecting this much chaos. She demands to know who authorized this operation, and a muscular guy steps forward to take the blame. The woman explains she requested the best mercenary in the region, and they delivered Ijin, apparently. Ijin cuts her off, telling her they need to evacuate immediately. He's not playing around with this. She's skeptical at first, but then sees Ijin approach, gun raised, and realizes this is serious. Ijin shoves the gun right into her face. She's terrified, but honestly, she kinda had it coming. He's clearly sending a message: mess with him and his team, and you'll face the consequences. The woman's face is a mix of fear and grudging respect. She's realizing this isn't your average mercenary. She nods, finally understanding, and Ijin turns to lead them out. This dude is straight up in control. The woman in the suit is trying to get a grip, but Ijin is already covering their retreat. No way she expected this. Suddenly, explosions erupt around them. Someone's clearly trying to take Ijin and the team out. Ijin's team leader gets hit, going down hard, and Ijin immediately dives to shield him. Our boy is a pro. Ijin returns fire, taking out multiple attackers with ruthless efficiency. This dude doesn't miss. He grabs the wounded team leader, dragging him to safety while continuing to lay down suppressing fire. Straight up a one-man army. The woman in the suit is following close behind, clearly realizing she underestimated Ijin. She's getting a crash course in survival. They reach a crumbling wall, and Ijin pushes the team leader through a gap, then turns to face more incoming fire. Ijin's firing like crazy, but he's taking hits too. Blood splatters across his face, but he doesn't even flinch. He glances back at the woman, giving her a clear signal to move, and she finally gets the message. She's actually starting to listen. Ijin's breathing heavily, still fighting, but his eyes are locked on something. He's not backing down, not even for a second. The woman in the suit is laying out the plan. They're hijacking a car to escape, no questions asked. Ijin is clearly not thrilled, but he doesn't argue. He just wants to get his team to safety. They rush outside and immediately get ambushed. Multiple enemies are already on the move. Ijin opens fire, taking out one attacker with a single shot, but more keep pouring in. It's a full-on firefight. He's switching between targets, a whirlwind of bullets, but one enemy manages to get a shot off at the woman. Ijin dives in front of her, taking the bullet himself. Our boy is a total tank. He doesn't even pause, immediately returning fire and taking down the shooter. Absolutely ruthless. Another enemy tries to shoot, but Ijin's gun jams. Talk about bad timing. Ijin unleashes a devastating barrage, and honestly, those guys had it coming. Ijin is a whirlwind of blades, straight up slicing through enemies. It's brutal but effective. He yells at the woman to get in the car, but she's frozen, staring at the carnage. Talk about a bad time to panic. She finally snaps out of it and dashes for the vehicle, while Ijin covers her with gunfire. She slams into the passenger seat and Ijin jumps in, peeling out. They need to escape now. But a whole squad of enemies opens fire on the truck. It's a total ambush, and bullets are flying everywhere. The windshield cracks and shatters, but Ijin floors it, pushing through the barrage. This dude is fearless. They're getting shredded, but Ijin somehow manages to keep the vehicle under control. It's insane. The truck is taking a beating, and honestly, it looks like it's about to fall apart. Ijin drives through the hail of bullets, completely focused. He's not losing control, not even close. They skid to a stop in front of this massive building. It's some kind of corporate headquarters, no doubt. Lone figure stands by a beat-up truck, looking totally unfazed by the chaos. This dude is either brave or crazy. Ijin jumps out, scanning the area, and bro straight up ignores the woman asking what's going on. Priorities, right? Okay, so things are tense. They are at this super high-end building, prepping for something big. It's episode 214 of Teenage Mercenary, and the family is straight up asking where Jin is. They're told Jin's been reassigned to different bodyguard duty, which sounds kinda weird, right? Two massive, intimidating security guys show up, and the family is clearly not thrilled about this change. The family keeps pressing for answers, demanding to know why Jin is being moved around like this. Everyone looks super stressed, especially the younger family member, and honestly, the tension is building. The kid asks if this means they won't see Jin anymore, and the grandpa looks a shifty, to say the least. Grandpa's giving this creepy little smirk, which is never a good sign, trust me. But then one of the security guys steps in and explains Jin isn't gone for good, he's just switching rules. He'll still be guarding them when they leave the house so they can see him whenever they want, which is a relief, I guess. The family's worried Jin is upset about something they said. Honestly, they are overthinking it. But one of the security guys interrupts. Jin didn't request the switch because he's offended, bro. He explains Jin wants to prioritize the mission over his own feelings, which is intense, even for our boy. The family just stares, speechless, and you can feel the weight of that statement hitting them hard. We cut to a shot of Jin, and he's looking super focused, totally locked in on whatever's ahead. The security guy is laying it all out. Jin doesn't want his personal stuff to interfere with work. The mom tries to tell him to take his time and give them an answer when he's ready. She's clearly concerned. But Jin just stares straight ahead, and you can tell he's already miles away, mentally prepping for the mission. However, the security guy seems to catch on. He looks a little unsettled by Jin's intensity. And then, out of nowhere, the security guy asks a question that throws everyone for a loop. Pardon. Security guy slides into the room, and Jin straight up tells them he doesn't need any more time to decide. The parents exchange worried glances, clearly not expecting this immediate answer. Suddenly, the door slams open, and Jin's already halfway out, moving like a ghost. A loud thunk echoes as the door swings shut, leaving the parents stunned and speechless. We cut to Jin on the roof, fully geared up, and he looks intensely focused on something. Someone yells Jin, it's urgent, and you can feel the panic rising. He's scanning the area with his weapon, looking for a threat, and honestly, it's intimidating. Another voice shouts, what is it? They've clearly spotted something too. Jin's got his sights locked on something, and it's clear whatever it is, it's about to go down. But no way, the scene cuts to black, leaving us hanging with zero clues. Talk about a cliffhanger. Jin's back inside, and he just casually asks everyone to come and eat. Talk about a mood swing. He's standing there, all bundled up, and looks totally unfazed by the weird stares he's getting. The other guys are snickering, probably at Jin's intense vibe, but he doesn't even flinch. Everyone's at the table now with a spread of food, but the atmosphere is seriously tense. Jin's parents are trying to act normal, but they're clearly worried about whatever he was doing on the roof. Suddenly, a serious-looking man bursts in, and you can tell he's not there to share breakfast. This dude's face is stone cold, and he's staring straight at Jin. Something's definitely up. The man's got his own security team flanking him, and they're all armed, so it's about to get real. Jin's dad tries to defuse the situation, but it feels like he's walking into a trap. And then the man drops a bomb. He wants Jin to leave with them whenever he's free, no questions asked. The man in the suit starts laying out a story about how he's moved around a lot and is always bored. He admits he doesn't have any friends, which is kinda sad, but then gets super intense. This dude straight up says he's having a blast with Jin, and it's unsettling to say the least. Jin's reaction is blank. He's not showing any emotion, which is honestly terrifying. The man keeps talking, and Jin's dad is clearly getting more and more uncomfortable with the whole situation. But then the man reveals he's been watching Jin for a while and knows all about his skills. Creepy. He wants to recruit Jin for some unknown organization, promising him a life of excitement and purpose. Jin's dad tries to shut it down, saying his son is just a normal high school student now. However, the man just smirks and says Jin is anything but normal, and he can tell. Jin finally speaks up, and it's clear he's considering the offer. Our boy is weighing his options. Jin's dad is laying out a plan, a reckless one, to send a squad to the address they have. But the other commander points out Dr. Gardner won't cooperate with the government, which is a major problem. He reveals Dr. Gardner specifically warned them not to interfere or he'd cut ties completely. This dude is laying it all out. They are stuck because of Gardner's warning and his refusal to help. The commander stresses it's a reckless plan, but they are running out of time to do anything. However, the commander is already resigned. They can't force Dr. Gardner to work with them. The man is still trying to convince Jin's dad that his son isn't normal, and he knows it. And Jin, he's just listening, totally unreadable. This kid is a stone-cold pro. Jin's dad is seriously starting to freak out, realizing just how much this man knows about his son. This commander is straight up losing it, demanding to know what's going on right now. He reminds them they had a deal, cooperation in exchange for saving his son Michael from being held hostage. But it turns out Michael wasn't kidnapped at all, and Jin actually found both him and Sarah Gardner, which is unexpected. The older man starts laying it all out. Sarah was constantly being sent on missions, even after leaving Jin. However, she was murdered at the location of her last assignment, taken hostage by people making ridiculous demands. The government refused to give in, and now this dude is finally connecting the dots about Sarah's real job. Sarah wasn't just a diplomat, she was a deep cover agent, handling negotiations and secret ops. No way, so she was a total spy, working undercover the whole time, which explains everything. And honestly, this dude is realizing just how much Sarah was risking her life on the daily. This is getting intense. Sarah was handling way more than anyone knew, and it sounds like things went south fast. The commander explains Dr. Gardner doesn't trust anyone. It's all starting to make sense now. But he quickly corrects himself, saying it's just their assumption about why she's so closed off. We cut to a flashback, and this dude Michael is clearly struggling with some serious issues. Sarah's death hit him hard. He says he desperately wanted to go with her when she left. However, he had to stay behind for Michael's sake, and his entire childhood became a mess. Michael was forced to move constantly because of their work, making a normal school life impossible. And it gets worse, he was surrounded by the kids of high-ranking government officials. Talk about pressure. Because of it all, Michael developed severe social anxiety and just shut himself off. Back in the present, the commander is still explaining, and our boy is listening intently. Then comes the tragic accident. It's all connected, and things are about to explode. I can feel it. It rained the day before, leaving everything soaked, setting the mood for a seriously dark reveal. Michael is straight up losing it, clutching a gun and staring at something in the wreckage. He's reliving the deaths of Sarah and Michael, and honestly, this dude is haunted. He hated it all, the loss, the betrayal, and blames the country they both loved for everything. A floorboard creaks and suddenly Ida is there, offering him a way to join her side. The commander's face is grim. He's realizing the full scope of what happened to Michael. Michael's flashback shows a room completely torn apart, hinting at a violent struggle. The commander's face is a mess of conflicted emotions. He's seeing Michael's pain firsthand. This dude is about to make a decision that will change everything, and I'm on the edge of my seat. Michael agrees to team up with Ida, revealing they wanted to develop a massive biological weapon. He initially thinks it's a ridiculous plan, but then he starts to see things differently. This dude is straight up questioning why it's ridiculous. He doesn't care how they use the weapon. Michael claims he's just the creator, and honestly, that's terrifyingly cold. He thinks about his country, and suddenly it all clicks. He has everything to gain from this. Michael says he needs vengeance, and this weapon is the only way, but the commander isn't buying it. The commander demands to know why Michael requested this meeting with Jin. He's not falling for this. Michael flinches, and the commander's expression is intense. He's clearly rattled by whatever's happening. The commander narrows his eyes, and Michael just smirks. This dude is playing a dangerous game. Now we see the commander is hiding something too. He's looking away with a troubled expression. The commander demands to know what Jin has to do with all this, and Michael just smirks. Michael reveals he wants the commander to tell Jin something. It's a seriously messed up request. The commander stays silent, but we cut to a flashback, photos of him and a woman looking happy. More flashbacks, they're working together, and then the woman is screaming, looking terrified. Suddenly, a hooded figure bursts in, gun drawn. No way, this is intense. The figure raises the gun and the commander's face is visible in the reflection. He's seeing it all over again. Back in the present, the commander's face is stone cold, but Michael knows he got a reaction. Michael drops a bombshell. He knows the commander was involved in the incident with the woman. The commander tries to deny it, but Michael is relentless, laying out all the details. Michael finishes his story and the commander just says one word, "I see, this dude is playing chess, not checkers." Okay, so Michael's laying it all out. Two people are flat on their backs, completely out cold. He's on the phone telling someone he had to talk to the commander privately, which is already a red flag. Then we see an older scientist dude and Michael starts remembering happy times with Sarah and Michael. It's a total mood shift. Seeing the scientist triggers all these old memories, and our boy realizes something huge is happening. Flashback time, they're all at a dinner table looking like a normal family, so wholesome, honestly. He remembers those happy days, but it just makes him realize something. This is gonna be good. Okay, so things are intense. Our boy Ijin is confronting this old handler, and it's not a friendly reunion. This dude is strapped to a chair, looking way too calm for someone about to get interrogated, but Ijin is not playing around. Suddenly, alarms are blaring and the handler starts screaming. Something's clearly wrong, and it's happening fast. No way, the handler's getting absolutely wrecked, covered in blood, and it's happening right in front of Ijin. We get a super close-up of the carnage, and honestly, this dude had it coming. Betrayal is a serious offense. Ijin is straight up pulling something and the handler's face is getting demolished in the process. It's brutal. Another guy bursts in, yelling about betrayal and the cost of it. He looks furious and ready to fight. The guy tries to get involved, but Ijin's already on him, and it's messy, lots of blood, and a serious struggle. We get another close-up and the handler's face is completely wrecked. It's a terrifying sight, seriously. But the other guy isn't backing down, and the tension is insane. Ijin's about to unleash everything he's got. I can feel it. Ijin just slides his hand across the handler's throat, and it's over, straight up brutal. The suited-up guy is furious, lighting a cigar and ranting about lost money and partners. He claims Ijin made a silly decision on a whim, and now they're paying the price. Talk about blame shifting. Ijin doesn't even respond, just stares at the handler, who's mumbling about changing his mind. The suited guy tries to play it cool, saying he understands wanting to trust your heart, but it's a total lie. Ijin leans in close and the handler is covered in blood, barely conscious. It's seriously messed up. The suited guy is still lecturing, listing all the things they've lost, but Ijin is clearly not listening. Ijin finally speaks, asking if the handler realizes how bad things have gotten because of his choices. The handler is a mess, but he's still trying to justify everything. This dude is delusional. However, Ijin doesn't care about excuses. He's done playing nice and things are about to explode. Ijin straight up tells him he's making an example out of him, a warning to anyone who crosses him. The handler's completely out of it and Ijin just casually starts doing pull-ups, like what even is this level of chill? Suddenly, Ijin's phone rings, displaying an international call from Major Kang. No way, this is about to get real. Ijin answers and his expression shifts. He's listening intently, but something's clearly wrong. We get a close-up of Ijin's face and he's got this intense, almost predatory look in his eyes. Bro is not messing around. He hangs up and the handler asks what's going on. Ijin just says to see if he still feels the same after this is over. Ijin's about to unleash, but then someone interrupts. A guard is getting patched up, looking pretty rough. Another guy appears, a suited man, and he's giving orders. They're prepping for something big, apparently. Ijin is already moving, disappearing into the shadows. This dude is a ghost, honestly. So the handler's spilling everything. Thanks to Dr. Gardner, they recovered the weapons and even captured some of Ida's crew. But here's the twist. The American government promised Gardner freedom and a new identity in exchange for his help. However, Ida got other plans. They kidnapped the doctor while he's on his way home, straight up ambushing him. The handlers convinced Ida is behind it, and they spotted Jake, Ida's right-hand man, just days before the kidnapping. They're tracking Jake's location now, trying to figure out why they'd take the doctor instead of just killing him. The handler thinks it's a message. Something only happens when you betray Ida, and honestly, that's terrifying. Ijin's handler is getting a call. Seems like they've got a lead on where the doctor is being held. He's getting details and his face is grim. This isn't good, folks, not good at all. The handler explains that Ida is planning something huge, and they're using the doctor for it. He reveals the doctor's expertise is key to their plan, and they're willing to go to any lengths to get what they want. The handler's on the phone, laying it all out. They kidnap the doctor knowing there's no leverage, which is messed up. He's stressing that Ida is risking everything by taking Gardner, and time is running out seriously. Ijin's getting the message. The handler had to contact him because he couldn't hide this, and it's intense. Ijin's listening intently, face tight. He's clearly piecing things together, and it's not pretty. The handler gives the go-ahead, and Ijin confirms he's already moving. Our boy is on it. Cut to a new guy. He's got that icy stare and says nothing, but you know he's important. This dude's checking his phone, and it's showing a location. They've pinpointed where Gardner is. He's grabbing a wrench, prepping for something, and it looks like he's breaking in somewhere. Another guy on the phone looks worried but determined. He's trying to help. In the final shot, the location on the phone, it's a warehouse and things are about to go down. The blonde guy is laying down intel. They refused an offer and now Ida is threatening them straight up. He explains they don't usually deal with this association, mostly taking requests from trusted people. But this guy they're talking about, he's a skilled mercenary with a stacked history, no doubt. Jin's on the phone now getting all the extra info. He's taking this seriously and we love to see it. He just says thanks, but you know our boy's already formulating a plan. It's his specialty. The blonde guy's still on the phone, and he's saying Ida is involved because of that incident. He's sending Ijin the information, and honestly, that's all he can do at this point. Ijin's already moving, phone still to his ear. This dude doesn't waste a second, seriously. Okay, so our boy and the team just got intel on a black market weapon auction, and it's going down at a nightclub owned by Ida. But here's the kicker, Ida's boss, Duan, is planning on being there himself, which is straight up huge. Apparently, they've built a secret area under the club for the auction, making it easier for everyone to stay hidden. They're banking on the club being super crowded so the auction attendees can blend in, but that also means tons of security, right? This dude is laying out the plan, emphasizing that speed is crucial for catching Duan. If they hesitate, he'll vanish. If they're slow and Duan even senses danger, he's bolting for cover, no question about it. No way, it seems like they're prepping for a serious operation, getting the gear ready to go. The team's ready to move, understanding this mission is all about swift action and catching Duan off guard. Our boy's got a determined look, knowing this is a high-stakes game where every second counts. The pressure's on, bro. They need to take down Duan quickly before he disappears into the shadows again. Okay, so the team's already inside the club and it's packed, total chaos, just like they predicted. But it's not just a party. People are discreetly showing each other weapons, prepping for the auction below. Our boy spots a guy trying to get close to a woman, and it's super sus, definitely a setup. He quickly intervenes, pulling the woman away, but honestly, this dude had it coming. However, the distraction creates a ripple effect, causing a bunch of other people to notice him. No way, it looks like the team's intel was spot on. Duan is definitely here, and he's scoping things out. Our boy starts making his way toward Duan, weaving through the crowd, a total pro. But Duan's security is tight, and they're starting to realize someone's watching them. This dude is a ghost straight up. He's already disappearing into the crowd, trying to escape. And back at HQ, someone's monitoring everything, clicking away, ready to support the team. Okay, so our boy has completely overridden the security cameras and plans to replace the footage with his own. He's pushing through the club, ignoring a bouncer who tries to stop him. Talk about confidence. The bouncer gets aggressive, trying to shove him, but our boy straight up spins and lands a clean hit. No way, he just knocked the guy out cold with one move. This dude doesn't mess around. He keeps moving, stepping over the unconscious bouncer, totally unfazed by the chaos. Another guard tries to stop him, yelling about club patrons, but it's too late. Our boy delivers a quick, powerful strike. Seriously, this is a masterclass in combat. The guard goes down hard, and the scene is a blur of motion and impact. He's making a beeline for Duan straight through the crowd, and honestly, it's kinda terrifying. Duan's already on the move, and the chase is officially on. This is gonna be epic. He lands a brutal blow on Duan, sending him flying, no hesitation, straight up savage. Duan crashes into a bunch of guys, and it's a total mess of limbs and confusion. Our boy's already on Duan, relentlessly pummeling him. This dude isn't giving him a chance to breathe. He grabs Duan, and honestly, it looks like he's about to drag him across the floor. Duan's trying to fight back, but our boy's skills are on another level. It's not even a fair fight. He's dragging Duan, leaving a trail of blood and chaos. Seriously, this is intense. He tosses Duan aside like he's nothing, then spins around, scanning for more threats. But wait, someone tries to attack from behind, and our boy reacts instantly. Reflexes are insane. He disarms the attacker with ease and sends him crashing down. This dude is a whirlwind of destruction. He leaves the unconscious bodies scattered around, then walks away. Bro is just on another level. He's got a gun aimed at Duan, and another guy pulls his weapon. It's a full-on standoff, no way. Shots ring out and Duan goes down, but our boy's already moving. He's a whirlwind of violence. He takes out another attacker with a brutal shot, then drops to the floor. This is straight up insane. He's dodging bullets while returning fire, weaving through the chaos like it's nothing. Seriously, the skill. But someone else appears, and for a second, it looks like our boy's cornered. That's a dangerous situation. He pivots, blasts the new threat, and then dashes forward. This dude leaves no one standing. He's sprinting now, leaving a trail of unconscious bodies behind. Bro is a one-man army. Glances back, sees Duan still breathing, and nods, a cold, calculated acknowledgement. Duan's lying motionless on the floor, and honestly, he deserved it, a total beatdown. He keeps running, determined to finish this, no hesitation, just pure, unadulterated action. The remaining guys are totally stunned, staring at the carnage. They can't believe what just happened. A burst of gunfire erupts, and our boy's already responding. He's a machine, straight up. He's dropping attackers left and right, but another guy tries to flank him, a risky move. This dude anticipates the attack, spins, and puts a bullet right between the eyes. No mercy. He's weaving through the chaos, taking down enemies with surgical precision. The skill is unreal. But someone's coming up behind him with a knife. It's a close call, seriously intense. He dodges the blade, disarms the attacker, and delivers a crushing blow, and honestly, he deserved it. The scene is a mess of bodies. It's brutal, but our boy is still standing, focused and cold. A new figure appears, gun drawn, aiming directly at him, but this guy's about to learn a lesson. He fires instantly, dropping the new threat before he can even react. This dude is a predator. He's still fighting, but the room's filling with more and more armed guys. It's a total swarm. But wait, a huge chandelier starts to fall right towards him, and honestly, it's a seriously messed up trap. Okay, so Ijin's got a mission, rescue someone, and he's getting directions, telling them to go straight ahead. This is episode 218, by the way. Things are about to POPOFF, trust me. Ijin arrives at what looks like a fancy party, but it's clearly a trap, and this dude wastes no time pulling a gun. He starts shooting, guards are going down, and honestly, these guys had it coming. They messed with the wrong merc. Ijin switching weapons, a pistol to something bigger, and it's all happening so fast, it's insane. Windows are shattering, bullets are flying, it's a total bloodbath, but our boy is moving like a ghost through it all. He's reloading, slick as anything, and keeps firing, taking out anyone who gets in his way, no hesitation. Ijin looks super focused, determined, but there's a little smirk. He's actually enjoying this, no cap. He finishes off the last of the guards, and you can see the intensity in his eyes. Bro, this is serious. He checks his gun, making sure it's ready, because you know this isn't over, and the mission is still underway. Ijin stepping forward, and another guard tries to intercept, but our boy is already anticipating it. He fires a quick double tap, and it's lights out for that guy, no hesitation whatsoever. Another guard swings a knife, thinking he's got the upper hand, but Ijin effortlessly deflects it. Ijin disarms him, then uses the same knife, straight up stabbing the guy. It's brutal, but effective. He grabs a gun from a fallen enemy, expertly switching weapons mid-fight. This dude is a pro. More guards rush in, and Ijin unleashes a flurry of shots, taking them down with incredible speed. The scene is total chaos, blood is splattering everywhere, but Ijin remains calm and collected. Kicks one guard into another, creating an opening, then delivers a devastating blow. Ijin's got one last enemy cornered, and he's looking pretty shaken up, honestly, deservedly so. Ijin says he can't help this guy, then calmly tells everyone he'll see them at the rendezvous point. The scene cuts to a massive hall, and it's a memorial or something, pretty intense, honestly. Everyone's dressed in black, but they're all looking super creepy, like porcelain dolls or something. Someone's giving a speech, but then a guard approaches the boss with bad news. Intruders are still inside. The boss looks furious, and this other huge dude with a beard is right there, glaring at everyone. They offer to escort the boss out just in case things escalate. Smart move considering what's happening. The boss scoffs, but he lets them lead the way, and this dude with the beard is seriously intimidating. We get a close-up of the boss's suit, seriously sharp, and then a quick shot of someone's footsteps. The boss tells them to keep a low profile, and his men immediately start moving out, no messing around. They're marching forward, and it's clear they are ready for a fight. Our boy is about to make things even messier. This dude is straight up a monster. He's already dealt with so many enemies, and more are coming. The boss is laying down the law, kill anyone they see, no questions asked, straight up ruthless. But Ijin's already moving, and he's taking out guards before they even react. This dude is a blur. One of the guards tries to swing, but Ijin just disappears, then reappears behind him with a devastating blow. Ijin's slicing through the hall, taking down enemy after enemy. It's a whirlwind of action, no way. He's dodging attacks and delivering counterblows, but the enemies just keep coming, a relentless wave. Ijin kicks one guy so hard he goes flying, and honestly, this dude had it coming. Another enemy lunges, but Ijin grabs his wrist, twists, and sends him crashing into the wall. The boss is watching the carnage unfold, and he's not even flinching. This guy is ice cold. Ijin is absolutely demolishing everyone, but it's clear he's focused, calculating every move. However, he's not just fighting, he's systematically clearing a path, and it's terrifyingly efficient. Boom, Ijin just took out another guy with a single shot, straight up headshot, no hesitation. Someone goes flying backwards with a thud, but Ijin doesn't even blink. This dude is unfazed. But wait, something's wrong. A piece of shrapnel actually hit Ijin, piercing his ear. He barely reacts, just winces and keeps moving, puffing out breaths. Our boy's a machine. Ijin's taking steps, methodical and relentless, advancing down the hallway. He's hunting. He's checking his gun, making sure it's ready, but he's also scanning for more threats, always prepared. However, he suddenly flinches. Someone's clearly behind him, and they're making a move. The guy's coming in fast, but Ijin spins around, weapon raised, ready to counter, no escape. Ijin's face is intense, determined, but you can see a hint of pain. He's pushing through it. Blood splatters everywhere, things are getting messy, and this fight is far from over, no way. Ijin stands amidst a massacre, bodies everywhere, but he's not done yet, not even close. One of the goons is still barely alive, and he's looking at Ijin with pure terror, and honestly, this dude had it coming. A guy in a suit bursts in, gun drawn, yelling at Ijin about his glacial pace. Like, seriously, the nerve of this guy. Ijin spins around, blade flashing, and the guy with the gun just oohs. What is even happening right now? Ijin straight up tells the guy he's not here to help. He just heard about the Mercenary Association threatening them. The suited guy blinks, looking surprised, but Ijin's already moving, scanning the room, always alert. Ijin glances over his shoulder, sizing up the situation. He's assessing, planning his next move like always. He's walking toward a doorway, and it's clear there's more trouble waiting on the other side, no way. The doorway leads to another room, and a figure is already there. Things are escalating fast. This dude is masked and looking menacing, but Ijin doesn't flinch. Our boy is fearless, honestly. Ijin takes a step forward, and the masked dude immediately raises a weapon, but it's not a gun, it's a sword. The masked guy attacks with a flurry of strikes, but Ijin effortlessly parries them all. This dude is seriously skilled, however Ijin is on another level. Our boy is straight up in the middle of a firefight, dodging bullets like it's a Tuesday, and dashes for cover. This dude's already taken out a bunch of enemies, but more keep coming, and the shooting intensifies. It's chaos. He's unloading on these guys with insane precision, boom boom, and they're dropping like flies, no way. Someone's trying to take him out from the side, but he anticipates it and dodges the attack. It's almost too easy for him. A guy with a machine gun opens fire, but our boy is already moving, weaving through the bullets like a pro. He returns fire, taking down another enemy, and honestly, this dude had it coming, ambushing like that. Another enemy charges with a blade, but our boy blocks with his arm, and the sword clangs off. That's gotta hurt. He disarms the attacker with a swift move, and you can see the look of shock on the guy's face. He didn't expect that. The guy tries to recover, but our boy is already on him, and it looks like he's about to take him down, swift and brutal. He's got the enemy pinned, looking down with a cold stare. This dude doesn't mess around, seriously. He's firing on all cylinders, but another attacker appears out of nowhere, gun drawn seriously. Our boy pivots, unleashing a burst of fire at the new threat and takes him down instantly. Clean shot. He yells, "Damn it, looks like someone else just showed up and they're packing heat too." Another enemy goes down, but then boom, an explosion rocks the room, sending debris flying everywhere. He's caught in the blast, stumbling backwards, and the attackers keep closing in. This is getting intense. Another explosion, boom, and this dude is clearly pissed. He's not backing down from a fight. He shouts, "Who the hell are these guys?" He's clearly surprised by their firepower and coordination. He's looking around, assessing the situation, and you can see the rage building in his eyes. Uh-oh. A red energy line streaks towards the enemy. Whatever's happening, it looks seriously dangerous. He moves with lightning speed, swish, and it looks like he's about to unleash a devastating attack. No escape. He's got a knife and he's coming at our boy, seriously aggressive, like he wants a piece. Our boy dodges, then counters with a blindingly fast attack. Swoosh, it's a whirlwind of blades. The enemy tries to block, but our boy is relentless, slicing and dicing. This dude is fast. He's pushing the attacker back, a flurry of attacks. Swish, swoosh, slash, it's a brutal dance. The enemy tries to create some distance, but our boy is right on his tail. No escape, bro. Another attacker lunges forward, but our boy anticipates it and meets him head on. No hesitation. He's deflecting attacks left and right, moving like a phantom. This is straight up insane skill. Our boy lands a hit and the enemy is clearly shocked. How the hell? He can't believe it. Keeps attacking, relentless swish, swoosh. The enemy is overwhelmed and reeling. The enemy is down, but our boy is still going. He's not letting up, not even a little bit. Our boy is relentless, slicing through the attacker's weapon. It's a brutal display of skill. The attacker stumbles back, clearly shocked, and demands to know if our boy really thought he stood a chance. But our boy isn't answering questions. He's already moving, launching another attack with insane speed. He slices again and the enemy tries to defend, but it's no use. Our boy is just too fast and precise. The attacker realizes this isn't a normal fight. He's not facing a government agent, and that's terrifying. He's getting absolutely wrecked, and our boy is a whirlwind of red energy. It's seriously intense. The attacker falls covered in cuts, but our boy doesn't stop. He's a force of nature, bro. He continues his assault, a flurry of slashes. This dude is straight up dismantling him. The enemy is down for the count, and our boy is standing over him, radiating power. No mercy. And honestly, this dude had it coming. Messing with our boy serves him right. Our boy is all swagger, telling the attacker he should have been ready for the fallout of threatening them. No way, this other dude just appears out of nowhere, eyes glowing, looking seriously unhinged. This new guy is towering over everyone, and the attacker is clearly realizing he messed with the wrong people. The attacker tries to warn them, but our boy just smirks. He's not worried at all, bro. Suddenly, this massive hand comes crashing down and the attacker gets smashed into the table. Pow. The attacker is reeling, face all messed up, but this new guy isn't finished. He's still going at it. Our boy casually pulls out a needle like he's prepping for a spa day, but the tension is insane. He throws it straight up and it flies toward the attacker with terrifying speed. Thud, the needle hits and the attacker drops like a rock, completely out cold. Our boy scoffs like it was nothing, and honestly, this dude deserved it, pushing his luck. The old man is getting yanked into the van, but he's putting up a serious fight. This dude doesn't go down easy. A whole squad of armed guys descends, surrounding the van. It's a full-on ambush, and it's intense. One of the soldiers tries to open the van door, but the old man is still resisting, screaming for them to stop. Our boy bursts out of a nearby building, pistol drawn, and yells at them to let the old man go. No hesitation. The soldiers immediately turn their guns on our boy, and a firefight erupts. It's a straight-up gun battle. He's dodging bullets like it's nothing, weaving through the chaos, while returning fire with deadly accuracy. The soldiers are going down one by one, but they keep shooting. This is a serious escalation, bro. Our boy manages to reach the van and the old man is looking relieved, but they're not safe yet. The van door is ripped open and the old man is pulled inside. They're making a break for it. The van screeches away, tires burning, leaving the remaining soldiers in the dust, and honestly, good riddance. The soldiers are furious the van got away, but their commander is straight up losing it. He's screaming about failure. It's nighttime and they're all staring at this creepy old bunker. Apparently, it belonged to someone close to 001. Everyone's wondering just how close 001 was to this person, and the tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. One of the guys thinks 001 must be wrecked over this loss, but another dude straight up corrects him. 001 actually saved the guy, just too late. This dude with the wild hair and tattoos is seriously questioning how 001 is handling things and demands to know if he even seems okay. They're all checking weapons and gear, prepping for whatever's next. It's clear this situation is far from over. Our boy, the one with the tattoos, is flexing and looking intense, while another guy seems totally lost in thought. The bald guy is grilling someone about why they think 001 is messed up, and honestly, he's not having it. They're arguing over whether 001 saved the guy or not, and it's getting heated, like seriously heated. Someone asks if 001 at least looks alright, but the tattooed dude just stares back, looking totally unbothered. The tension is building and you can just feel something big is about to go down. This dude is clearly hiding something. Someone's unloading a magazine into a rifle. It's a lot of bullets and it's happening fast. The tattooed dude is getting absolutely wrecked, taking hit after hit, but he's still standing barely. A team is digging and it looks like they're unearthing something big, but 001 is just watching, expressionless. 001 is staring off into the distance, totally zoned out, while everyone else is focused on the dig site. Tattooed guy is furious, scoffing at 001's lack of reaction. He thinks our boy is a mess, honestly. 001 is clearly deep in thought, remembering something. It's a flashback and it looks intense. He's remembering a conversation, a promise made, and it's clearly hitting him hard. A black car pulls up and a sleek convoy follows right behind it. 001 is getting a ride, a VIP one at that. Inside the car, a woman is scrolling through a tablet, looking seriously concerned. Something's up. 001 is staring out the window, brooding as usual, but he looks like he's about to make a major decision. They arrive at a fancy building, and 001 is immediately sizing up the place. Bro is already scanning for threats. Inside, it's all chandeliers and expensive decor, and a table is already set with a full spread of food. A woman straight up tells 001 to eat, but he's lost in thought. Clearly something's bothering him. She asks what they're going to do, but 001 just says he's fine and wants to eat, which is weird. He starts eating, but the woman is still clearly worried, and he's staring off into space again. Suddenly, a helicopter flies overhead, and 001's eyes snap up. He's recognizing something up there. No way, he's remembering a mission, a promise he made to someone in that helicopter, and it's hitting him hard. The woman is getting increasingly frustrated, demanding to know what he's thinking, but our boy is silent. He finally speaks, saying he'll handle everything, but it's a cold, determined tone. This is serious. And honestly, the woman looks terrified of what he's about to do. Something big is definitely going down. 001 is saying it's been a strange day. Everyone's been canceling on him. Talk about rude. He's at the movie theater and says he hates watching movies alone, but he's trying to act cool. A guy walks by and offers him popcorn, but 001 looks totally confused. What's the deal? The dude just shoves the popcorn at 001, and our boy is giving him the side eye. So awkward. But then the guy tells him to just enjoy the movie, and 001's expression changes instantly. She says she hates watching movies alone, but it feels like a setup. Something is off. 001 offers her some popcorn, and she's totally taken aback. This is getting weird. The camera pans up to the theater's ceiling, showing a bunch of hidden cameras. No way. And honestly, they're all pointed right at 001 and the woman. They're being watched. The sun is setting, casting a dramatic glow, but this feels less romantic and more ominous. She straight up tells him this is her house, but our boy is not having it. He insists he was just dropped off. She claims it's just a coincidence she's here, but 001 isn't buying it for a second. She's definitely lying. He asks what her duties are for the day, and she's totally caught off guard. What's with the sudden questioning? She's giving him a serious side eye, and he returns the favor. The tension is thick right now. She tries to brush it off, saying she's a busy woman, but he just accepts it. This dude is playing it cool. The car pulls away and he's left standing there, staring. Bro is clearly processing something huge. We get a close-up of her in the car and she looks totally rattled. She's hiding something for sure. A man in uniform sighs and asks someone to keep an eye on 001. Apparently, he's been acting strange lately. They say 001 went through some rough stuff recently, and she sensed something was off. This is getting intense. But honestly, it's clear something's up, and 001 is about to get involved in another crazy situation. He's laying it on thick, telling the older man he was told there was nothing left to do at work. The man asks if that's really true, and our boy confirms it with a smooth, calculated sure. But the man isn't convinced. He says he was watching 001 and noticed he left work early. 001 explains he was on his way back from working out when he saw the man leaving, making it seem like a coincidence. He's playing it cool, but the man is clearly analyzing every word. This is a total interrogation. However, the man seems to buy the story, and 001 just gives him a little nod. Smooth move. No way, the woman from the car is watching from a distance, totally suspicious of everything. And honestly, this whole scene is a setup, and our boy is right in the middle of it. It's raining cats and dogs as our boy Ijin's family estate gets seriously guarded, like maximum security. Someone's clearly expecting trouble with armed guards and dogs patrolling. This isn't a friendly visit. Inside, the family patriarch is getting a report, and it's not good. Security footage from the day of the attack is gone. He's fidgeting like crazy, but they're digging into every other possible source to find answers, needing more time. But hold up, suddenly boom, something explodes near where the report is being given, straight up blowing a hole in the wall. No way, the patriarch gets thrown back, covered in blood, and it looks like a brutal, close-range attack. This dude pulls out a gun and fires point blank, and honestly, this dude had it coming, but still, ouch. The guards are on high alert, realizing they're dealing with some seriously cunning enemies. They've searched everywhere but can't find any connection to major countries, which is super suspicious. These people are playing a different game, and our boy is about to get tangled in something way bigger than he thought. The old man is laying down orders, capture the freelancers, bring them in, and he wants it done now. But he's not messing around. If this mercenary association doesn't get what it wants, the funding gets cut off. The guard assures him it's covered, but bro, that's a seriously intense glare he's getting. Meanwhile, somewhere else it looks like Jake's crew had a rough night. He straight up got hit by a car. Yeah, it wasn't just a fender bender. He's barely clinging to life, and they need to ditch their hideout ASAP. They know Jake's teammates are coming, and they're gonna hunt them down, so relocation is priority one. The leader is looking pretty grim, but he's trying to stay strong and figure out their next move. He's deep in thought, probably realizing this whole situation just got a whole lot more complicated. Our boy Ijin is clearly processing everything, and honestly, you can feel the intensity building. Something's about to go down. Ijin is asking where 004 is, and the intel says his phone is untraceable. That's seriously concerning. He's staring out the window, totally focused, and you can tell he's piecing things together in his head. Scott and his crew are looking shady as heck, but Ijin just casually walks up like he owns the place. This dude in the hoodie, it's definitely Ijin, is trying to act normal, claiming he just happened to stop by. But the guy in the suit isn't buying it for a second, straight up demanding to know what he's doing there. Ijin's giving off major don't mess with me vibes, and honestly, this confrontation is about to explode. Close up on Ijin's face, those piercings and that intense stare are terrifying. No way. He's playing it cool, but the tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife, I'm telling you. The suit guy is clearly suspicious, and Ijin is just leaning in closer, upping the ante. Ijin's expression is so cold, he's totally intimidating this guy, and honestly, he deserves it. So they're asking if Jake is dead, and this other dude is just casually munching on noodles. Cold, bro, cold. He confirms Jake's gone, saying he found the room unlocked after his nap, but something about his chill demeanor is super off. Ijin's totally staring at the guy, and you can tell he's dissecting every little detail, trying to figure out what's really up. The dude keeps eating, and Ijin presses him, wanting to know exactly what happened. This is getting intense. Now a crowd gathers outside, murmuring about something. Looks like a scene, and it's definitely not good. The guy in Kamo joins the crowd looking seriously concerned, while Ijin hangs back, observing everything. Close up on the Kamo dude's face, he's got this menacing grin, and it's clear he's not worried about anything. But here's the kicker, the back of the van is completely wrecked, covered in blood, and it's straight up horrifying. Ijin's thinking hard again, piecing together the puzzle, and it's clear this situation is way bigger than anyone realizes. However, the Kamo dude is clearly hiding something and he's playing it cool, but Ijin isn't fooled for a second. Ijin's straight up fuming, questioning the suit guy about why he'd say he was helping him when it sounds like he just wanted Jake. The suit guy tries to play it off, claiming he only needed info from Jake, but Ijin isn't buying it for a second. This dude in Kamo is getting seriously annoyed, clenching his fists and grinding his teeth. He's about to explode. But the suit guy doubles down, saying if they didn't need to interrogate Jake, they would have just killed him on the spot, cold. The Kamo dude snaps, ripping up his drink container and blames the whole mess on the suit guy. Total meltdown. He keeps ranting, saying the suit guy wasn't even his first choice. What is going on with this whole operation? Ijin's just standing there, arms crossed, completely unfazed by the outburst. Our boy is a stone-cold pro. The suit guy throws out a simple 004. It's a code, and it's clear Ijin recognizes it. Close up on the suit guy, and his expression is totally unreadable. This dude is hiding something major. Ijin's thinking fast, realizing this whole situation is way more complex than he initially thought. No way. Ijin demands to know what 004 means, and the suit guy finally spills. It's a former teammate, a total ace. But here's the kicker, 004 is the Kamo dude's brother, and he was presumed dead after a mission gone wrong. The Kamo dude reels, visibly shaken by the news, and straight up flinches. This is huge for him. Ijin presses further, asking why they needed to interrogate Jake about 004 if he was already gone. The suit guy explains they thought 004 might have survived, and Jake had intel. It's a long shot, but they're desperate. He then drops a bomb. 004 was a master of disguise and infiltration, a total ghost, and that's why they needed Jake's help. Ijin's eyes narrow, a dangerous glare forming, and he tells the Kamo dude to keep practicing his knife skills. Harsh. Kamo dude demands an answer, but Ijin just shuts him down with that cold stare. Bro is ice. Ijin reveals he already knew about 004. He's been piecing it together all along. No way. However, he clarifies that 004 isn't just anyone. He's a critical piece of a much bigger puzzle. Straight up, the scene is a bloodbath. Multiple security guys are down, and it looks like someone took them out with a knife. One of the soldiers confirms it. All the casualties were taken down with a knife, which is insane, honestly. He says only someone with extraordinary knife skills and a serious bloodlust could pull off a massacre like this. That's ominous. Our boy is demanding the target's location and orders everyone to kneel. This dude is not playing around. They report the target is running towards Zone with Delta Team on their tail, heading straight for Charlie, but that's not good. He immediately orders them to block the target's escape no matter what, and the pressure is mounting. However, he adds they need to keep the target alive. They're making an example to send a message to the association. Soldiers acknowledge the order, and honestly, it's clear this isn't just about catching a runaway. It's a power play. This dude is giving off major villain vibes, and I'm kinda worried about who's about to get caught in the crossfire. The soldiers are fully armed and ready to intercept, and it's clear this chase is about to get a whole lot more dangerous. Our boy is sprinting through the woods, moving fast. He's clearly on a mission. He's breathing heavy but pushing through the pain, and it's clear he's worried about something. He spots the body of the guy they were after and wonders if it was him that alerted the enemy. He learns the target's team ditched the hideout because they knew their comrade was dead, cold. This dude is clearly affected by the sight of the body, and a tear rolls down his cheek. No way. He's now on a bridge looking out at the water, and it's like he's seriously contemplating something. He's gripping his phone, lost in thought, but then makes a quick decision. It's about to go down. Without hesitation, he tosses the phone into the water, straight up cutting off communication. The phone sinks, bubbles rising, and he says he should have done it sooner. Talk about a power move. But honestly, this feels like the calm before the storm, and I'm bracing for impact. The soldiers open fire, but our boy is already moving, dodging bullets like it's nothing, no way. He's weaving through the trees, and these guys are straight up missing every shot. It's kinda embarrassing. He closes in on one of the soldiers and unleashes a blindingly fast attack. A red streak cuts through the air. The soldier tries to raise his gun, but it's too late. The blade slices right through it and him. Another soldier rushes in, gun blazing, but our boy just deflects the bullets with the same blade. Insane. He's a whirlwind of motion, taking down soldier after soldier. It's a massacre, honestly. He slices through one guy, then another, and the forest floor is quickly turning red. This is brutal. He keeps moving, a blur of steel and fury, and the remaining soldiers are clearly terrified. He disarms one soldier with a swift kick, then takes him out with a precise strike, cold-blooded. The last soldier tries to run, but our boy is right behind him. It's over, and honestly, he had it coming. He finishes off the last soldier, then just stands there, covered in blood, looking exhausted. He lets out a sigh like all the tension just drains out of him, but he's still on high alert. A rustling sound cuts through the silence, and he immediately goes rigid, eyes scanning the trees. He's pinpointing the source of the sound, and it's clear he's expecting someone or something else. Another figure emerges from the shadows, and our boy just stares him down, completely unfazed. The newcomer says, "All right," and our boy responds with, "I'll play your little game. This is getting good." He's assessing the new threat, and you can see the gears turning in his head. He's already planning his next move. This dude is straight up daring him to make the first move, and our boy isn't backing down. The newcomer is soaked in blood, but he's still standing, and honestly, that's terrifying. He's locked eyes with our boy, and the tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife. This is a showdown. Our boy barks out "lift," and the remaining soldiers scramble to raise something heavy. It's a trap. No way, the forest floor erupts in gunfire, and soldiers are dropping left and right, covered in blood. He whirls around, gun raised, scanning for the source of the attack, but it's coming from everywhere. He shouts, "Turn, turn," ordering his teammate to rotate, desperately trying to find cover. A shadowy figure with a blindfold appears, wielding a massive, glowing blade. This is a whole new level of crazy. The figure swings, and our boy barely dodges, but the blade tears through the air with insane speed. He yells out in pain, but keeps fighting. This dude is seriously tough, even against a monster. Blades flash, slicing through the air, and the forest becomes a whirlwind of red and white. It's brutal. Close up on the blindfolded figure's face. He's grinning, and his eyes are glowing with pure malice. See the carnage again, bodies everywhere, but our boy is still standing, ready for round two. One of the soldiers assesses the fallen guy, straight up declaring he's the target, no hesitation. He tells the team to regroup, but another soldier is already losing it, yelling about manpower losses. This dude is furious, ranting about the association coming down on them for this single target. Talk about overreacting. He's clenching his fist, absolutely determined to interrogate this guy and find the rest of his crew. He's demanding to know where the others are, ready to tear information out of this poor sap. The guy's already gone, and our boy is realizing they've walked into a trap. It's a full-on ambush. More soldiers drop, and it's a total bloodbath, but our boy is still standing. This dude is a machine. Okay, so our boy Ijin is back in the forest, and things are messy, like seriously messy. He's clearing out enemies, thinking he got them all, but the forest is silent in a way that screams danger. He's covered in blood and straight up thinks he's in the clear, but then he hears a voice. Ijin is shocked. He thought he finished everyone off, but someone else is here, and they know him. Someone else is reassuring him that he'll be okay, but honestly, that's not helping the tension at all. This dude is still on high alert, scanning the trees, trying to figure out who's talking and where they are. Turns out it's Ijin Yu, and he's laying down some serious intel. This forest is a perfect setup for a skilled fighter. Ijin Yu explains that Ijin's opponents were at a huge disadvantage, lacking both skill and information, but then, no way, a massive figure in a skull mask appears and a smaller kid is hiding behind him. This just got real. The masked man demands to know where everyone went, and Ijin's clearly not happy about it. Things are about to explode. Ijin's getting questioned by these guys about meeting OOI, and he's straight up losing his cool, like seriously annoyed. He claims he only met OOI because he was pissed, but these dudes don't buy it for a second and keep pressing him. They want to know why he met OOI, and Ijin flinches. Something's definitely up and he's not sharing. This blonde guy asks if he went to OOI to vent, and Ijin explodes, saying the whole mess is OOI's fault. He's yelling that OOI is to blame for everything, but the blonde guy looks totally skeptical. The blonde dude is like, so you went to complain, and honestly, this dude had it coming. Ijin still fuming, covered in blood, and refusing to explain himself. It's a total standoff. A masked man steps forward and Ijin's ready to fight, but Jinwoo is trying to de-escalate. It's tense. Jinwoo is asking what happened, trying to piece things together, but Ijin just wants to be left alone. The blonde guy is staring at Ijin, and you can tell he's not convinced. Something's definitely off with our boy. Madison from the Mercenary Association is covered in blood and looking way too pleased with himself. He's standing over a body with a shell casing nearby, straight up a crime scene, bro. Madison's got a gun and is looking down at the carnage, while Ijin and Jinwoo are trying to figure out what happened. Madison explains a ton of mercenaries have gone missing after crossing paths with the association. It's shady. Ijin's scoffing, saying these guys are pricks, but Jinwoo is trying to keep him from losing it again. Ijin's still furious, demanding to know what's going on, but Madison just smirks. This dude loves a power play. Madison reveals a bunch of organizations are hiring the association, and it's not good news for anyone involved. Apparently, people start disappearing once they get tangled up with the association. That's a huge red flag. Madison and his crew are towering over the scene, while Ijin and Jinwoo look up at them, completely outmatched. Ijin still fuming, straight up declaring these guys are a bunch of pricks. He is not holding back. The old man is losing it, questioning how he's supposed to trust the association after all this. Madison's subordinate apologizes, but it feels super fake, like he's hiding something big. The association head gets a call and immediately starts barking orders to deal with these enemies. No way. He wants them found no matter what it takes and then eliminated along with anyone connected to them. Straight up ruthless. Ijin's eyes are glowing red and his face is contorted in rage. This dude is about to explode. The old man hangs up the phone, but Ijin's already stepping forward, radiating pure menace. Ijin demands to know who these bastards are, and honestly, he's not asking nicely. The association head just stares him down, clearly not intimidated, but Ijin looks like he's ready to fight. Ijin promises to eliminate them himself, as well as everything associated with them, no matter the cost. He's completely unhinged, and you can tell the association is starting to realize they messed with the wrong person. The association head tells Ijin to finish his current mission instead of chasing these guys. Talk about a power move. But before anyone can react, a vehicle screeches out of nowhere, and it's all action stations. The association head is on the radio, ordering them to take care of everything and not worry about the aftermath. He's so calm. Another vehicle speeds away, and this dude, the association head, is casually smoking while giving orders. He confirms they'll handle it ASAP, but honestly, he looks way too relaxed for someone in a crisis. He mutters about the fast lane not being easy, and bro, he's not wrong. This life is intense. The vehicles tear through the city, and it's straight up mayhem, with buildings blurring past. They arrive at what looks like a makeshift base, and a bunch of armed guys are already waiting for them. We get a back view of the association head as he surveys the scene. This is about to get real. He's got his sunglasses on now, looking all cool and collected, but Ijin is definitely the one you need to watch out for. The association head strides forward, and everyone's telling Ijin about how they've been hearing things. No way. Ijin just coldly responds that he's heard plenty about them too. This is escalating quickly, bro. He starts walking and his squad falls into formation behind him, weapons ready, straight up intimidating. The association head continues his advance, and you can see the determination in his eyes. He means business. A close-up reveals his intense stare, and honestly, it's kinda scary how focused he is. Another close-up, this time of his eyes, and you can see he's not messing around. He's a predator. He keeps moving forward, and the armed guys at the base brace for impact. This is about to pop off. Ijin's squad is right behind him, forming a wall of muscle and firepower. They are a force to be reckoned with. The association head casually adjusts his stance, and it's clear he's unfazed by whatever's coming. This dude's ice cold. He declares they're going to take care of everything, and honestly, these guys are in way over their heads. Okay, so the episode kicks off with teenage Mercenary emblazoned across the screen. We're straight up diving into action. The phone rings and our boy Jin answers, looking totally focused, like he's expecting bad news. It's Evelyn calling and she sounds frantic. She's clearly in trouble, but Jin stays cool as ice. But here's the kicker, Evelyn confesses she shouldn't even be contacting him. Something's seriously wrong. We cut to Evelyn and bro, she is covered in blood. Looks like a straight-up massacre happened. She manages to gasp out that she's been attacked, and it's a total disaster zone around her, no way. Jin's face hardens, he's not showing a lot of emotion, but you can tell he's going into mercenary mode. He demands to know how things are, and Evelyn replies they've lost a ton of their people. It's a huge hit. Jin's eyes narrow, and honestly you can see the gears turning in his head as he starts planning his next move. So the Mercenary Association tried recruiting them a few days ago, but they turned them down. Big mistake. Apparently, other mercenaries on missions started getting attacked, and it's escalating fast. The captain wanted to save his people, but it was a trap, and now he's seriously injured. No way. Evelyn warned Jin not to contact her, but she's clearly desperate and covered in blood. She explains everything, the attack, the lost team, and the captain's injuries. It's a total bloodbath. But here's the thing, the captain specifically told her not to call Jin under any circumstances. Evelyn admits she didn't know what else to do, and honestly, who would blame her? Jin is stone-faced, but you can tell he's already formulating a plan. This dude is a machine. He hangs up the phone, and you just know things are about to go down. Prepare for carnage. In the final shot, just Jin's intense stare. He's about to unleash hell, and it's gonna be epic. Jin gets a message from someone, it's the captain, and he's asking for one last favor. The captain tells Jin to stay away, straight up ordering him not to return to this place ever. Meanwhile, someone else is watching Jin. This guy has a gun and looks seriously pissed. This dude starts dialing his phone, and you can tell he's about to make a bad decision. Clinch. He reports in, saying Jin is at the location, and a squad of mercenaries immediately starts moving out. They rush into the building, guns raised, and look ready for a fight, but Jin is already prepared. The mercenaries corner a defenseless man, thinking he's Jin, and start roughing him up. Rub. But it's a decoy. The real Jin appears, looking totally unbothered, and the mercenaries are caught off guard. Jin's eyes lock onto the leader, and honestly, this dude is about to get wrecked. Our boy's face is grim, and you just know this is about to be a brutal takedown. Prepare for chaos. Jin's already speeding away on his bike, and the captain's filling him in on a shadowy mercenary association. Apparently, this group protects mercenary rights, but it's all a front for some seriously shady business. They're causing trouble, taking contracts, and even assassinating mercenaries who won't join them. No way. The captain explains they've recently had run-ins with this association, and things are escalating fast. This association claims to protect mercenaries, but it's straight up a power grab, and the captain warns Jin to avoid them. But Jin isn't listening, he's already tearing through the city, and honestly, he looks determined. The captain explains the association's grown in power, and organizations are commissioning them left and right. This gives them huge profits and deep ties to businesses, making them even more dangerous. Seriously, what a mess. Jin is pushing his bike to the limit, and the captain finishes explaining how ruthless this association is. However, our boy isn't backing down, he's heading straight toward them, and he's about to throw down. Jin's roaring down the highway, following directions sent by 032. Talk about a smooth ride. He confirms the directions and speeds up, and honestly, this dude is a blur. But things take a dark turn. Jin arrives at a heavily guarded facility, and it's clearly a trap. Inside, a commander demands to know how many mercenaries they've lost, and the scene is grim. The commander is furious, and it's clear this operation is going south fast. Serious damage control needed. They're examining a tiny, bloodied figure on a tray, and it's messed up. No way they're messing around. The commander rages about the losses, but it's clear this isn't just about numbers, it's personal. However, Jin is already inside, silently taking out guards. This dude is a ghost. He's moving through the facility, taking down enemies with lethal precision, and it's intense. And just as things calm down, the commander yells, realizing they've been infiltrated. Oh crap. Jin's unleashing a whirlwind of gunfire, taking down enemies left and right, straight up a one-man army. He's a machine, focused and deadly, and it's clear he's not holding back. No mercy here. But amidst the chaos, a wounded man fixates on the fact that someone else messed things up. He demands to know when the association backup will arrive, and his subordinate says they are attacking immediately. However, Jin is determined to see this through before leaving. This dude is relentless. The commander and his crew are rushing down the hallway, seemingly unaware of the carnage behind them. And honestly, they're walking right into a trap. Jin is ready and waiting. Jin's got his sights set and he's not afraid to pull the trigger. This is about to get messy. He's completely locked in and it's clear Jin is finishing this operation, no matter the cost. Okay, so this operation is already intense. A bright light cuts through the night as our boy and his team move in. They're breaching the building, weapons drawn, and it's clear this isn't a friendly visit. Everyone's looking for a fight. A vehicle speeds toward them and the team immediately prepares for a firefight. Things are escalating fast, bro. They open fire on the vehicle, but it keeps coming, and honestly, it's a total chaotic mess of bullets and glass. The vehicle screeches to a halt and one of the team members steps out looking for trouble. He's not messing around. Another team member gets out, weapon raised, ready to back him up. They're clearly expecting resistance. Suddenly, someone shouts Jin. They spot a familiar face and it throws everyone off guard. This dude Jin arrives on the scene looking totally unfazed, and the team is straight up shocked to see him. But things get weird fast because Jin's appearance seems to trigger a confrontation. It's a tense standoff. They're all pointing weapons at each other now, and it's clear this reunion is not going to be a happy one. No way. Someone chambers a weapon, the click echoes, and the tension is insane, bro. A commanding voice shouts, "Stop right there," but it's clear no one is backing down. The team keeps their weapons trained, eyes locked on whoever's approaching. It's a standoff. Then Jin and a woman with silver hair step forward, looking completely unfazed. They just strolled into a war zone. Jin's expression is stone cold, and honestly, it's kinda terrifying. This dude is not playing around. The team demands to know if Jin has forgotten their warning to stay away. Talk about a hostile reunion. Jin coolly reveals he heard about their ambush, and it's clear he didn't come here to offer condolences. The team flinches at whatever Jin says, and it's obvious his words hit a nerve. Ouch. One of the guys accuses Jin of being there for charity, but something tells me this is way more complicated. Jin's face is unreadable, and you can just feel the animosity building. This is about to explode. Everyone's guns are still trained on Jin, but someone points out they're not sensing any hostility. Weird, right? The silver-haired woman, who's clearly a badass, has a perfect grip on her weapon. She's ready for anything. Then a woman in a blood-splattered lab coat bursts forward, screaming that she was the one who called Jin. What a twist. She's covered in blood and it looks like she's been in a fight, but she's desperate to explain something. She shouts that the captain is unconscious and they have no other choice. It's a desperate plea, bro. The team starts to murmur, hesitant, but someone questions what they are even doing. They're clearly conflicted. The woman warns them that the Mercenary Association is sending backup. This is about to get way bigger. One of the team members tries to argue, but another cuts him off, saying there's more to it than that. Intriguing. This dude's face is grim, and he acknowledges they might be wrong, but he has a plan, a little ominous. Our boy Jin is just standing there, calm as can be, while everyone else is losing it, straight up unbothered. The woman frantically tells the team the captain is down and they need to move. It's a total emergency. The team starts questioning orders, realizing something's seriously wrong with this mission, but they are still hesitant. The silver-haired leader cuts through the doubt, ordering everyone to gather intel on their enemy. He's taking charge. One of the guys starts to protest, but his teammate silences him, acknowledging they might be making a mistake. Jin just stands there completely unfazed by the chaos while everyone around him is losing their minds. What a pro. The leader's face is intense, focused on the task at hand. He's clearly hiding something, though. Another team member speaks up, confused and questioning what's going on. It's a mess of uncertainty. The leader ignores the questioning, demanding they focus on gathering information, but his expression is troubled. He's staring off into the distance, a single tear rolling down his cheek. Something's definitely haunting him. The blood-splattered woman looks at Jin, and for a second it seems like she recognizes him. No way. The woman explains they were attacked the same night someone asked to recruit them. Talk about bad timing. They managed to defend their base, but the attackers then targeted other teams on missions, escalating things fast. Apparently, the captain went to rescue those teams, and now he's in critical condition. No one saw that coming. The leader finally responds, asking what's up with all the conflicts in the area, sounding genuinely concerned. The woman reveals that once the enemy found out Jin wasn't around, things turned violent, and honestly, this dude had it coming. They launched a terrifying attack recently, and now they're teaming up with a mercenary association to ambush the village. This is getting serious. The leader's face is stone cold, and he's clearly piecing everything together. The woman adds they attacked after discovering Jin wasn't with them. It's like they're specifically targeting him. The leader is silent, just absorbing the information, while the woman looks absolutely terrified. What a mess. The woman is a wreck, but the leader is keeping it cool, his eyes narrowed, and a hint of a smirk playing on his lips. The woman keeps rambling about the captain taking care of everything. It's a total cover-up, bro. She's clutching a pipe covered in blood, and honestly, it looks like she was in a serious fight. The leader finally turns around, and he's absolutely furious. This is about to get intense. He walks toward the woman, and she just stares back, completely defeated. The tension is unreal. She's revealing that the captain's been hiding something the whole time, and it's connected to Jin. The leader grabs the pipe, his grip tight, and we see he's injured too. This is a mess of secrets. He's pulling back the curtain, and we see more injured people. It's a full-blown disaster zone. Our boy's standing there, silver hair gleaming, looking straight ahead. He's about to unleash hell. I can feel it. Jin's about to move out, but Ijin stops him. Something's up. He senses danger. We quickly learn it's not a false alarm. The area is crawling with enemies, and it's straight up dangerous. Ijin tells everyone they need to hold tight and prep, because rushing in now would be suicide. But the team's already taken some serious damage, and one guy is clearly worried about how long they can wait. A wounded soldier is showing a younger teammate his injuries. It's pretty rough, honestly. Everyone's asking what's going on, and the injured soldier keeps repeating they need time to prepare. Someone questions why they're delaying, but Ijin backs up the injured guy, saying many are still hurt. Ijin and a female operative try to keep everyone calm and formulate a plan before acting rashly. She explains they need to take things slow, but someone's already impatient and wants to leave now. Ijin insists they need to wait, because rushing in would be a disaster for the injured members of the team. Ijin's getting questioned. They've been waiting 2 days, and everyone wants to know why the enemy hasn't attacked yet. This dude is convinced they're waiting for backup, and honestly, Ijin looks like he agrees. Ijin straight up confirms it. They provoked them once, and now the enemy is definitely planning a full-scale attack. He says the silence is the biggest clue, and the team is starting to realize things are about to get real bad. Ijin's prepping a vehicle, loading up what looks like heavy gear. No way this is gonna be a simple scouting mission. He's getting intense, staring into the distance, and you can tell he's already strategizing. And then bam, something attacks from above, sending debris flying everywhere. They're ambushing them. The team scrambles for cover, and it's chaos, but Ijin's already reacting, moving faster than anyone else. He's trying to shield the others, but there's so much incoming fire, it's a total mess. The enemy is relentless, and it looks like they brought a whole arsenal. This is a full-blown war. Ijin orders everyone to stay put and protect the base. He's going out alone, and no one can stop him. But someone's already down, seriously injured, and they're trying to drag him to safety. The team leader is furious, yelling at them to disarm. This is a total lockdown situation. Ijin's already moving, assessing the damage and figuring out where the attack came from, bro. He finds one of the enemy combatants, totally wrecked and barely alive, and starts interrogating him. This dude reveals there's a hidden sniper, a real ghost, and Ijin's face says he already knew. Ijin's piecing it all together. The sniper's been taking out key targets, creating chaos, and it's brilliant. However, the sniper is still out there, and the team is getting picked off one by one. It's brutal. Ijin's racing against time, trying to find the sniper's location before everyone gets wiped out, straight up. He's got a plan, but it's risky. Our boy is about to walk right into the enemy's crosshairs. The injured soldier is screaming at the remaining team. Only 2 of them are going out there. Can you believe it? This dude, all bandaged up, straight up yells that they're handling this themselves and won't leave it to anyone else. He's ranting about not wanting to just sit at home while others fight, and honestly, we feel him. The silver-haired commander is all business. They can't afford any more losses and need manpower to hold down the base. A woman and another soldier are looking on, clearly worried. This is about to get messy, you just know it. A bandaged soldier grabs the commander, demanding to know what he plans to do about it all. She's staring at something, eyes wide with fear. What is she seeing? No way, the commander just shoved the soldier back, and it looks like a fight is brewing. However, this is Ijin's cue to step in, because of course it is. Our boy always saves the day. Ijin's already taking charge, telling them there's no time for arguing. They need to move, and now. The commander's losing it, yelling at Ijin about going against orders, talk about a power trip. Ijin doesn't even flinch, calmly telling him they needed to protect the place better, straight up. The commander's face is a mess of fury. You can practically see the steam coming out of his ears. Ijin's already moving, assessing the situation and ordering everyone around like the true leader he is. We get a close-up of the commander's eye. It's narrowed and he looks absolutely unhinged. He's staring at the carnage, and honestly, this dude is about to snap, you can feel it. The commander's grip tightens, he's clearly holding back a massive outburst, and it's intense. He finally breaks, letting out a frustrated sigh, and it looks like he's starting to understand. However, he's still simmering with rage, and Ijin is definitely walking on eggshells right now. Ijin's hand is clenched, and you know our boy is ready to throw down if things escalate further. Ijin's giving orders to the bloodied soldier, telling him to protect the base and minimize casualties. No chill, even now. The injured soldier's barely holding it together, but he nods, understanding Ijin's serious, and starts rallying the troops. Everyone's moving, bracing for whatever's coming, but the soldier keeps muttering about not knowing what these bastards will do. Suddenly, a vehicle barrels towards the gate, and the soldier's instincts kick in. He's ready for war, bro. We get a super close-up of the soldier's face. He's seen some stuff and he's not backing down, not one bit. Someone reports the backup has arrived at the airport, estimating they'll be there in 30 minutes, thank goodness. The commander's still recovering, slumped in a chair, but Ijin's already assessing the situation. Our boy never stops. Ijin's calmly giving orders, but the soldier's got a grim look, knowing this is just the beginning, things are about to get wild. He's warning everyone to raise their defenses because whatever's coming will be brutal. This dude knows a thing or two about fights. The scene cuts to a wide shot of the base at night, and honestly, the atmosphere is thick with tension. We're on edge. Okay, so the commander and a couple of guys are huddled together, trying to figure out their next move, but they look seriously rattled. They're discussing reinforcements, but it's clear they are expecting a full-on assault, and honestly, Ijin's face is stone cold. Okay, so things are insane right now. Gunfire erupts and our boy is straight up in the middle of it. The enemy tries to flank him, but he's already moving, dashing for cover like a ghost. He leaps onto a wooden structure and it immediately starts splintering under his weight. No way. This dude is a whirlwind of blades, slicing through enemies with impossible speed and precision. He's spinning, blades flashing, taking down multiple attackers before they even react. It's a blur. Our boy is airborne again, launching himself forward with incredible force and a flurry of attacks. The enemy tries to retaliate, opening fire, but he's already dodging bullets like it's nothing. He's cutting down enemies left and right, but there's still so many. This is a full-on assault. One of the guys manages to get a shot off, hitting him, but honestly, he barely even flinches. He takes out another enemy, and it's clear this dude is a terrifying force, and they messed with the wrong guy. He's still moving, blasting through the building, and the enemy base is getting wrecked. Windows are shattering everywhere. Inside, some guys are watching the chaos unfold, and they're actually kinda calm about it. One of them says they've lost a lot of manpower, but they think our boy is running on fumes. The leader straight up says there's no way they'd leave the base open, so there can't be many enemies left. Huge mistake. He's finishing off the last of the enemies inside, and it's brutal. Blood splatters everywhere, no holding back. Leader smirks, saying they've just sealed their own fate. He's confident, but way off. Turns out there are still a ton of enemies outside, and they're opening fire. This dude is a magnet for trouble. The leader sees the incoming fire and realizes he seriously underestimated the situation. Oops. He's trying to reassure everyone, but honestly, it sounds like damage control at this point. The remaining enemies are huddled together, looking terrified. They clearly know they are outmatched. Our boy is dodging bullets like it's a Tuesday, slicing through the air with that blade. It's insane. He's moving so fast, taking down enemies before they even react, and they're still trying to shoot. Multiple enemies open fire, but he's weaving through the bullets, closing the distance with terrifying speed. He's right in their faces now, and it's a whirlwind of steel. These guys didn't see that coming. He slices through one enemy, then another, and then spins around. It's a straight-up massacre. This dude is a whirlwind of destruction, and the enemies are falling left and right, covered in blood. He keeps spinning, taking out more enemies, and honestly, it's a beautiful, brutal ballet. He finishes the spin, and the remaining enemies are completely wrecked. Total chaos, bro. The leader's eyes widen as he sees the carnage, realizing his secure base is a death trap. Someone inside hears the boom and wonders what's happening, but honestly, it's not good. Someone asks what's going on, but our boy just clicks the safety off his AK. Things are about to get real. He shouts "shut up" and immediately unleashes a hail of bullets. No time for explanations, bro. The gunfire erupts ratata, and the room explodes into chaos with a massive boom. This dude's eyes are glowing red as he continues firing, and it's seriously intense. How is he so fast? One of the enemies goes down, but another asks how they got through the security, clearly panicking. Another thud, it's a body hitting the floor, and the remaining guys are scrambling for cover. No way. He's reloading, click, and lining up another shot. This is a straight-up massacre, honestly. Ta-ta, more bullets fly, hitting their targets with deadly accuracy, and the room fills with smoke. Someone yells "EK" as they get clipped by the gunfire, and honestly, this dude had it coming. Another TA as someone else falls. Our boy is a whirlwind of destruction, leaving a trail of bodies behind him. The door starts to buckle under the onslaught of bullets, and it's creaking open. No escape for these guys. The leader, despite being riddled with holes, is still trying to fire back, but our boy is too quick. He's aiming right for the leader's head, eyes narrowed, and it's seriously intimidating. Zero hesitation. Thud, a brutal hit, and the leader goes down finally, and the room is silent for a split second. But the silence doesn't last as the remaining enemies try to scramble away. They're totally outmatched. Our boy swings his AK around, using it like a club. Clang, knocking another enemy flat. Straight up savage. Boom, more gunfire as he takes down another enemy, and honestly, it's a blur of action. He slams the butt of the gun into another attacker. Thunk. This dude doesn't mess around, bro. Another clang as he deflects a blade with the gun. This guy is a weapon master, no doubt. The final enemy falls, and our boy stands amidst the wreckage. Mission accomplished, but at what cost? Someone recognizes our boy. It's Jin. No way. The name drops, and everyone's freaking out. The man in white is totally shocked, stammering Jin's name. He clearly knows who this dude is. But Jin doesn't react. He just stares intensely, eyes narrowed and glowing red. Super creepy. He's got this cold, piercing gaze locked on someone, and it's seriously intimidating, bro. Our boy's armor is glistening, reflecting the light. It's a subtle flex, but it's there. He glances down, and you can see the determination in his eyes. This isn't a drill. He's locked in. The focus on his eyes is insane. It's like he's seeing right through everyone, straight up terrifying. This dude's posture is perfect, gun steady. He's a machine, honestly, a total weapon. He's got a slight smirk, and it's clear he's about to unleash hell. Things are about to get messy. Okay, so things are insane right now. Our boy Ijin just walks into a bloodbath, finding a bunch of bodies. He sees one guy still breathing, but barely, and this dude is desperately trying to talk. The dying man's face is messed up, but he's clearly pleading for something, his eye barely open. Ijin demands to know what happened, but honestly, he already looks like he knows it's bad. The injured man tries to explain it was the guards who attacked, but Ijin doesn't even let him finish. No way. Ijin just grabs the guy's head, and you can see the rage building in his eyes. The man starts to struggle, trying to wriggle free, but Ijin's grip is like steel. And straight up, Ijin snaps the guy's neck. It's brutal but quick, and honestly, this dude had it coming. Ijin's face is hidden, but you can see the intensity in his eyes, and the aftermath is messy. He's left standing over the body, completely unbothered, like this is just another Tuesday for our boy. Ijin's squad mate radios in. They've cleared out everyone outside, but it's way too quiet. They ask if the other team members made it, but get a shrug in return. Something's seriously off. Another squad mate points to a body on the floor and confirms they guess so, which is a super unsettling answer. One of the soldiers pulls down his mask, revealing a grim expression. He's seen something terrible. The masked soldier asks if anyone else is inside, but the response is just more silence and blood. Jin's teammate reports that the perimeter is secure, but honestly, that doesn't feel like enough. They're checking the building, but Ijin is already moving, like he's got a read on the real threat. Ijin's squad mate states they've taken care of everyone outside, but Ijin clearly doesn't believe it. He demands to know if the other members arrived and gets a shrug. Something is definitely wrong here. Ijin scans the area and his eyes lock onto something. This dude is about to go into beast mode. Ijin straight up blasts a dude with a shotgun, no hesitation, just pure efficiency. The team stands amidst the carnage, but one guy is asking if they'll even SCEOOI seriously. Ijin cuts him off, saying they have another mission to complete, and honestly, good for him. They're surveying the scene and it's just a lot of bodies and fire. This is intense. One of the soldiers questions if anyone else is inside, but Ijin's already scanning, like he knows. Ijin's squad mate insists the perimeter is secure, but Ijin isn't buying it for a second. He demands to know if the other members arrived and gets a shrug. Something is definitely off. Ijin's eyes lock onto something, and you can tell this dude is about to unleash. Team moves forward and it's clear Ijin is leading the charge, no questions asked. They're checking the wreckage, but Ijin is already miles ahead. This guy is a machine. They're moving through the ruins, but someone shouts, "It's Jin," and everyone's looking for him now. One of the soldiers spots Jin through binoculars, yelling his name. This dude is clearly a priority. Jin's walking toward the group, looking roughed up, but still totally composed. No way he's backing down. A woman rushes to meet him, clearly worried, but Jin looks straight past her. Something's off here. She's asking if he's all right, but he ignores her and focuses on the injured soldier beside her. Our boy doesn't miss anything. Jin questions the soldier about what happened, and this guy's trying to downplay it, but Jin isn't fooled. The soldier insists the perimeter is secure, but Jin knows better. He's already scanning for threats. Seriously. Ijin demands to know what happened, and the soldier finally admits they were ambushed, but something still doesn't add up. The woman asks what they're going to do, and Jin says they're finishing the mission. This dude is all business. They start moving again, following Jin, but he's already way ahead. This guy is a one-man army, honestly. Someone shouts what, and it's clear they're shocked by something, but Ijin is already piecing it together. Ijin focuses on the injured soldier, noticing the blood isn't quite right. This dude always spots the details. The woman asks if they knew these guys were harassing people, but Ijin's got a cold answer ready. Ijin straight up says both the Mercenary Association and the other groups took heavy losses today. They won't be bothering anyone soon. The injured soldier stares at Ijin, looking totally lost, but our boy doesn't even flinch. Ijin turns and you can see the intensity in his eyes. He's assessing the situation, planning his next move. The group stands silently, realizing Ijin is hiding something. The tension is seriously building right now. Ijin doesn't say much, but he's making it clear this is far from over. Bro is a master of intimidation. Scene fades to sunset and you can tell Ijin's thinking, something big is about to go down. I can feel it. Everyone's looking at Ijin, waiting for a sign, but he's keeping his cards close. This is gonna be good. The woman pleads with Ijin not to leave, but he's already turning away. Bro is completely focused. Ijin glances back at the injured soldier and you can see the man's face is a total mess. He's seen some stuff. He's looking toward a graveyard and it's clear this place means something to him. It's connected to his past. The injured soldier is staring at Ijin, completely lost, and honestly, this dude had it coming. Ijin asks what home even means to them. It's a loaded question and everyone feels it. We get a sweeping shot of the graveyard as the sun sets and it's seriously haunting. The mood is dark. Ijin stands before a grave and the injured soldier stands behind him, looking on. It's a powerful image. The camera focuses on the blood-soaked bandages on the soldier, hinting at just how brutal things have been. Yikes. Ijin is clearly remembering something and you can see the pain in his eyes, but he's hiding it well. He's staring straight ahead and it's obvious he's making a decision. Our boy is about to unleash. Wait, hold up there at a cemetery. No way, this is getting intense. The woman with Ijin realizes where they are and she's totally freaked out, but Ijin is just unfazed. Okay, so it's episode 229 and our boy is straight up demolishing a training exercise. 1, 2, 3, he's flying through it. He's moving so fast, it's a blur, and the other recruits are struggling to keep up with his pace. 1, 2, 3, 4, he's leaving everyone in the dust, and they're all scrambling to follow his lead. This dude is seriously a machine. He's vaulting over obstacles like they aren't even there. He's scaling the walls using the equipment as leverage, and honestly, it's a little terrifying how good he is. But then, mid-run, a teacher steps into the gym and seems to be looking right at him. Talk about pressure. He finishes his run completely winded, but that teacher is giving him a serious look. Suddenly, another teacher, a woman, flinches, like she just saw a ghost or something is seriously wrong. She's wearing a fancy uniform, and it looks like whatever she just saw has really shaken her up. And whatever it is, it's clearly connected to our boy, because she's staring right at him with pure fear. The teacher insists she's just visiting, but the other teacher isn't buying it. She straight up knows something's off. She claims she was hanging out with Seokju and Ijin, but admits she had nothing to do while they were busy. But the first teacher calls her out, saying she's here for Ijin and doesn't care about Seokju at all. And the teacher smirks like she's totally read this situation a million times before. No way, she shouts something about how it's happened before and then suddenly gets thrown backwards. An older man arrives on the scene, looking seriously concerned about whatever just happened. He explains that back then, these two barely interacted with each other at all. He admits he's shocked by everything and honestly, same bro, same. The teacher and the woman are now face to face, and it's clear this is a long-buried conflict. But it looks like whatever this is, it's gonna be a problem for our boy. The old man is spilling all the tea. He's way more interested in who Ijin is getting close to than the company's growth. He admits he'd do anything to make sure his kids have power, even if it means sacrificing his morals. Whoa, intense. Apparently only the toughest leaders are fit to run SW, so he turned a blind eye to some shady stuff. That's messed up. But he adds that none of that would even matter if they aren't a real family. Straight up cold, bro. The other man looks totally gutted by that. He's clearly taking this to heart. However, the old man quickly pivots, saying he still has to consider the future of SW and the country. He can't always get his way, even though he'd prefer to. It's like he's trying to justify everything. The other man is still silent, just processing everything. This is a seriously heavy conversation. And then the old man declares it's time to go. No lingering, just straight to business. They walk away, leaving all this drama behind. But I have a feeling this isn't over, not by a long shot. The old man waves goodbye, telling Ijin he'll see him tomorrow and to get home safe, so polite. But then a totally different guy approaches, asking if he can have a quick chat with the old man. The old man seems surprised, and the other man awkwardly asks if he is the one he's been waiting for. The old man straight up introduces himself as Chu Sung-min, and this dude is clearly impressed. However, Chu Sung-min's face drops. He looks like he recognizes something about this new guy. This dude's face is hidden in shadow, but the old man is totally staring him down. No way this is a coincidence. The old man turns and walks away, leaving the other man stunned and speechless. And honestly, the other man is practically frozen, totally caught off guard by this encounter. Chu Sung-min keeps walking, looking back over his shoulder like he's assessing the situation. But the other man finally finds his voice, saying, "Why, yes, I am, and you are." The tension is real. Someone points out that the old man is getting off work, like that's the big news right now. But then someone recognizes the old man. Turns out he's the chairman of SW, a super important company. This dude is shocked, staring at the old man with a totally confused expression. The old man casually mentions he reserved a cafe nearby, wanting to keep things low-key. However, the old man looks back, sizing up the guy who approached him. Something's definitely off. The other man finally speaks, confirming he's who they've been waiting for and asking who the old man is. The old man's face is unreadable and he just stares back. This is getting intense. Chu Sung-min turns and walks away, but he keeps glancing back, clearly suspicious of this new guy. The man finally asks if he's the one he's been waiting for, and bro, the tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. The other man looks totally stunned, speechless. No way he expected this encounter. The old man breathes a sigh of relief, saying he was worried Ijin was causing trouble. Can you believe it? But he quickly adds that he really wanted to meet Ijin's grandfather, and honestly, that's a little sus. Ijin's grandfather just stares back, completely unreadable, and the other man looks totally thrown off. He asks if this is about him, and the old man straight up confirms he's been wanting this meeting for a while now. Ijin's grandfather finally speaks, saying there's no trouble at all, but something tells me he's hiding something. He says he's relieved, but Ijin is definitely picking up on a weird vibe, and so am I. The old man explains his reasons for wanting to meet, and it's a total curveball. This is getting good. Okay, so our boy Ijin is chilling with his uncle, and things are straight up weird. It's all about convenience store food. His uncle starts slurping down ramen, looking totally satisfied, but Ijin's all stoic, barely reacting. Then the uncle starts really enjoying the cheap noodles, saying he's actually loving it. Ijin's face is a masterclass, and I can't believe this is happening, complete with a noodle drip. But here's the twist: Ijin admits he's also into the convenience store life, needing those quick calories. His uncle tries to upgrade things, promising fancy BBQ, but Ijin's already committed to the cheap stuff. Ijin explains the convenience store food is enough, and it's kinda sad. This dude's been surviving on minimal rations. They're both eating now, and honestly, it's a little depressing seeing this super skilled mercenary living off instant noodles. Ijin's got 2 cups of noodles going, and you can tell he's surprisingly content with this simple meal. It's a total 180 from his mercenary days, but Ijin seems peaceful, but knowing this series, that won't last. Ijin's uncle casually mentions he's been popping in to see Ijin, always bringing recycling. No way. He explains the residents used to run from Ijin, but now they all greet him, even the kids. What a glow up. Ijin is totally skeptical, questioning how the uncle knows this, and honestly, same. The uncle says they started coming around when Ijin was still a total menace. Apparently, everyone was terrified. Now, the residents actually look forward to seeing Ijin, which is wild considering his past. The uncle brags they even help him with heavy lifting, and Ijin's just processing this information. Ijin is clearly confused, like, how did a super scary mercenary become a neighborhood sweetheart? The uncle casually drops that everyone now says hi to Ijin, which is a complete 180 from before. It's kinda sweet, but also a little unsettling. This dude's transformation is straight up legendary. Ijin's still questioning everything, and honestly, this whole situation is giving me major whiplash. Ijin's walking home seemingly at ease, but then a car speeds toward him, totally out of nowhere. This dude reacts instantly, dodging the car like it's nothing, showing off those mercenary reflexes. But the car doesn't stop, it swerves and crashes straight into the Eat House storefront. No way. Ijin sprints toward the wreckage, and you can see someone's trapped inside. Things are about to get intense. He's pulling at the crumpled door, trying to get the driver out, and it's a total struggle against the twisted metal. The driver, a middle-aged man, is furious, yelling at Ijin to stop, but our boy ignores him. He's focused on the rescue. Ijin manages to wrench the door open, but the driver is clearly injured and looks absolutely shocked. Suddenly, another car speeds up, heading straight for Ijin. It's a double ambush or something. Ijin barely dodges again, and the second car screeches to a halt, revealing the same guys who were tailing him earlier. Ijin's eyes narrow, and you just know his mercenary instincts are kicking in. This is about to explode. Ijin starts walking again, stepping over the wreckage, but then he notices the driver isn't moving. He's out cold. He checks for a pulse, and thankfully the driver's still alive, but barely. It's a relief, but this whole situation is messed up. Suddenly, a man in a suit rushes up, yelling into his phone about the injured driver. Turns out he's Congressman B. Jinhin. The man gets an update. The driver's been taken to the ICU in a coma. Straight up, this is escalating quickly. Ijin's expression darkens. He's realizing this wasn't just a random accident. Someone wanted to take out Congressman B. The suited man sees Ijin and immediately starts berating him, accusing him of causing the crash. Can this guy get any more clueless? Ijin grabs the man's collar, his grip tightening, and honestly, this dude had it coming. He's not putting up with this. The man's shocked, trying to pull away, but Ijin's grip is like steel. It's a power move that sends a clear message. Ijin demands to know who ordered the hit on Congressman B, and the man, clearly terrified, can only stammer. Ijin releases him with a furious glare, shouting why someone would try to get in his way. This is about to get real messy. The suited man explains they've already found someone to take the blame for the hit and run and are scrubbing the security footage. Ijin's face hardens. He claims he wasn't even driving, which is true, but the man doesn't believe him. Ijin asks what they're talking about, and the man clarifies they're making sure the culprit turns themselves in. The man apologizes, then tries to backtrack, seeing they're just handling an attempted hit and run. How awful, right? The man is relieved and nods, while Ijin is clearly not buying any of this. It's a setup, and he knows it. Suddenly, Ijin takes off running, leaving the man speechless, and it's clear he's got his own investigation to do. Ijin is sprinting down the street, dodging pedestrians and cars. Our boy is a blur of motion. He's clearly heading somewhere specific, and the urgency in his steps tells us it's important. Ijin bursts into a building, and it's his old mercenary base. No way he's going back there. He's determined to figure out who's behind this, and he's starting with the people he knows best, even if it means revisiting his past. Ijin arrives at the base, the door sliding open with a whir, and he's immediately on edge. He finds his former commander, and the guy is clearly shaken up. Something big is going down. The commander explains everything happened so fast, and he's grateful Ijin wasn't seriously hurt. Ijin isn't having it. He straight up says it's not a problem, and this dude needs to spill the tea. The commander's face drops, and he reveals someone is running around framing people for the hit and run. He's freaking out because it's linked to a larger conspiracy, and they're covering it up fast. Suddenly, the commander's eyes widen in horror. Someone is already inside the base. He yells hey and rushes toward the emergency room, looking absolutely terrified. This is bad, bro. Okay, so the story starts with teenage mercenary emblazoned across the screen. Things are about to get intense. Our boy is giving a statement to this detective, typing away at lightning speed, straight up rattling off the details. The detective asks if he found the victim around 11:35 p.m., and our guy confirms everything seems pretty straightforward. But the detective isn't buying it. He's scrutinizing the statement with a serious look on his face, and things are about to shift. He presses our mercenary, asking how he could see the driver's face so late at night, and our boy doesn't even flinch. This dude is calling BS, accusing our boy of making up a story to get an innocent person locked up. No way. However, our mercenary explains he rushed to the scene because he heard the crash and then saw a car speeding away. He made sure to get a look at the driver just in case, and honestly, that's just smart thinking for this guy. The detective is still giving him the side eye, but he seems to be slightly buying the story now. It's a tense moment. And just like that, the interrogation ends, leaving us hanging with what happens next. This is going to be good. Detective lets our boy go, thinking the interview is over, but little does he know. The detective's phone immediately rings, and his face drops. Something's up. He gets a report that the witness got a clear look at the driver, and straight up, our mercenary is in trouble. This dude is on the phone, looking stressed, while our boy walks away. It's a power move. Our mercenary reaches the office and slams the door shut, clearly frustrated. He's not happy. He's staring at a screen full of witness sketches, and it's a dead ringer. They got his face. The detective explains the witness ID'd him, but downplays it, saying the police won't dig too deep based on a kid's testimony. However, our mercenary isn't buying it. He knows this situation is way more serious than they let on. He's convinced the witness recognized him and that it'll be a huge problem moving forward. Bro is stressed. And honestly, he's right to be worried. This whole thing is about to blow up in his face. Congressman B is straight up losing it, convinced someone will recognize him and start spreading rumors. This guy is paranoid. He's ranting about permanent damage to his reputation, but honestly, he's the one making the threats. The aide just stares back, completely unfazed. This dude has seen it all before, apparently. Our mercenary is walking down a dark street and his phone rings. It's Daein, and something feels off. He answers, and we see it's Daein calling. She's clearly involved in whatever mess is brewing. He's walking and talking, trying to figure out what's going on, but the call is short and cryptic. He hangs up, and his expression is grim. No way this call brought good news. Bro is seriously worried. He's analyzing the situation, realizing this witness ID is a huge problem that could follow him forever. The detective thought he was done with the interrogation, but our mercenary knows this isn't over. He's convinced the witness recognized him, and this is about to escalate. Prepare for trouble. He's having dinner with the SW guys, fueling up after training. This dude takes protein seriously. They're urging him to eat, telling him they need to stock up on protein. Typical gym bro talk. But the peaceful dinner gets cut short. He gets a call and immediately knows something is wrong. He's speeding down a dark street and it's clear someone is following him. The tension is building. A motorcycle gang is hot on his tail, and they're not messing around. These guys look serious. He tries to turn, but they're right behind him. This chase is getting intense. They swerve towards him, weapons raised. No way this is going to end well. He narrowly avoids the attack, but they're gaining on him. This dude is a skilled driver, though. The motorcycles are closing in, and he's forced to take evasive action. It's a full-blown pursuit. He floors it, trying to lose them, and the motorcycles roar behind him. Vroom. This is straight-up chaos. The motorcycles slam into him, but our boy is already bracing for impact. He's not going down easy. He explodes out of the car, dodging the bikes, and straight-up kicks one of the riders off. The other rider swings a metal bat, but this dude anticipates it and disarms him with a lightning-fast strike. He sends the biker flying with a brutal takedown, and honestly, this dude had it coming. But there are more of them and they're swarming him. This is a serious ambush. He's trading blows, dodging attacks, and disarming opponents. Our mercenary is a whirlwind of destruction. He gets a call mid-fight and it's Ijin. Talk about bad timing, but he answers anyway. He tells Ijin he'll call back later, even as he's getting attacked. Priorities, am I right? He finally takes down the last attacker, looking absolutely menacing. That glare could kill. But he's furious, muttering damn it as he surveys the scene. Something is seriously wrong. He sprints down the street, desperate to get away, but a mysterious figure starts pursuing him relentlessly. This dude throws a punch and our boy instinctively blocks. The impact sends shockwaves through both of them. He delivers a devastating counterattack, sending the masked figure flying backward with a massive explosion of force. However, the figure crashes through obstacles, quickly recovering and getting back on their feet. No way. He stands over the downed opponent, radiating pure intensity. This is a serious power imbalance. But something's off. He realizes this whole thing was a setup, and he's absolutely furious about it. This dude, CEO Ijin Yu, is looking for some quick muscle, and he's got a job for them. He's getting impatient straight up. The client wants whoever's supposed to handle this kid dealt with now. Ju is on the phone giving orders, and he's not happy about the delay, slamming the phone down hard. His guys report in, saying they're taking a bit longer than expected, but haven't even run into our boy yet. Ju is losing it, groaning that all they had to do was beat up a kid, asking why it's taking so long. One of his subordinates tries to reassure him, saying they're probably just taking their time because they haven't found him. But Ju is fuming, insisting this kid is going to be bedridden for the rest of his life after this. Ju gets another call and the client is now really getting antsy, demanding immediate action. Ju confirms they'll handle it ASAP, clearly annoyed but trying to maintain control of the situation. One of the subordinates is whispering to the other, clearly worried about what's going to happen when they finally find our boy. Someone's already cleaning up a mess inside the office. Looks like a fight went down, bro. Meanwhile, Ju's thugs are standing around and this kid on a motorcycle just speeds into view. They're all like, who is this kid? But honestly, they should be more worried about what he's about to do. Our boy is looking for Ijin Yu, and he's wondering if he's inside. This is getting good. He revs the engine, and it's clear he isn't here to ask for directions, straight up. Ju's crew is stunned as this dude barrels toward them. They have no idea what's coming. He's speeding right for them, and the headlight illuminates a whole lot of blood on the pavement. No way. Ju's guys are caught completely off guard as our boy flies past, but it's a blur of speed. He's still tearing through the streets, determined to find Ju. This dude is relentless, I tell ya. Those thugs are starting to realize this isn't just some random kid, and they're seriously regretting everything. Ju's men are scrambling, trying to react, but our boy is already moving like a bullet. He connects with a devastating punch, sending one of the thugs flying kapow straight to the floor. The other thug reaches for a weapon, but our boy is too fast, disarming him in a flash. The bald guy is totally shocked, raising his hands like, whoa, hold up, but it's too late. Our boy unleashes another brutal attack, thwack, and the bald guy goes down hard. This is intense. The thugs are dropping like flies and the motorcycle is still revving, a beacon of chaos. The motorcycle slams into the remaining thug, sending him sprawling thud. It's a total wipeout. The helmet flies off, landing near the wreckage, and honestly, this dude had it coming. Our boy calmly walks into the building, stepping into the elevator like nothing happened. The elevator doors slam shut with a thunk, and you just know Ju is about to face the music. Inside, the boss is asking what all the commotion is outside, totally oblivious. One of his guys offers to check it out, and our boy is already heading towards the door. The door swings open with a bang, and another subordinate bursts in yelling emergency, "Boss." "What's going on?" the boss demands, looking seriously annoyed, but things are about to escalate. The subordinate explains they've spotted one of the attackers, but have no idea where the others are hiding. Boss presses for details, from where are they coming and how many are there. But it seems like there's a whole crew out there and they're coming fast. The boss looks shocked, and honestly, you can see the realization dawning on his face. He's starting to understand this is way bigger than a simple street brawl. The subordinate reiterates they only spotted one attacker, but the boss is clearly worried about the rest. The boss tries to play it cool, but the subordinate straight up points out the attacker is inside. No way. The boss turns around and Ju is already launching a flying kick right at his face. Kick connects and the boss goes down, hitting the floor hard with a sickening thud. It's brutal, bro. The boss is completely out cold, covered in blood and teeth. Ju doesn't even pause, just steps over the fallen boss and keeps walking deeper into the warehouse. He's heading for a stack of boxes, and honestly, this is where things get really strategic. Our boy carefully steps on a specific box like he knows exactly where to go, and it's kinda creepy. He's scoping out the area and you can tell he's looking for something or someone specific. He spots another guy who looks terrified, but Ju doesn't even give him a glance. Ju is totally focused, a stone-cold expression on his face, and this dude is clearly in over his head. Ju's walking straight toward another guy, but this one's clearly the boss's right-hand man. Subordinate flinches, totally expecting a beatdown, and our boy doesn't disappoint. He launches a punch. Smack! Ju's fist connects, sending the guy flying backwards with a spray of blood, and it's brutal. He's following up immediately, grabbing the guy's shirt and pulling him in for another strike. Thump! The guy hits the floor hard, and honestly, he's completely wrecked, blood everywhere. Ju stands over him stone-faced while the other two subordinates stare in shock, absolutely frozen. He turns and walks toward a nearby office, and you can see the nameplate, CEO Seong H. Wen. Ju bursts into the office, sending the CEO reeling backwards, and the speed is insane. Another swoosh, another punch, and kaw-pow. The CEO goes down, covered in blood. Our boy just stands there surveying the chaos, and this dude is straight up a monster. Ju grabs the CEO by the collar, lifting him into the air. No way is this guy getting up now. He's screaming, but our boy doesn't even flinch, just slams him onto the office desk. This dude in the patterned shirt straight up charges at Ijin with a sword, like it's no big deal. Ijin reacts instantly, blocking the attack with his own blade, clang, but he's already moving to counter. The attacker's shocked, asking if he's dreaming, but bro doesn't have time to process because Ijin's coming in hot. Ijin disarms the guy with a quick slice, sending the blade flying, and honestly, this dude had it coming. The attacker tries to grab another weapon, but Ijin's already swung his sword, swoosh, and it's a clean hit. Ijin's blade connects, slicing through the attacker's shirt, but he's barely phased, keeping his focus on the fight. Ijin's going in for another strike, a powerful slash that sends sparks flying and the attacker reeling back. The attacker's getting wrecked, covered in cuts, but he's still trying to stand his ground against our boy. Ijin delivers a final, decisive slash and the attacker is down, but it's intense, seriously brutal. The attacker falls and Ijin standing over him, looking completely unfazed, like this is just another Tuesday. The attacker collapses, blood splattering everywhere. It's a total mess, seriously. This dude is covered in blood, clutching his wounds, but he's still trying to stand, no way. Ijin delivers a brutal punch, sending the attacker flying backwards, pow, and it looks like it hurts. The attacker slams into a wall and blood just explodes, thud. It's way more intense than it needs to be. He's down on the ground, groaning, surrounded by a growing pool of blood. Things are getting grim. Ijin looms over him, looking down with a cold stare, like he's completely unfazed by the carnage. The attacker manages to spit out a question, demanding to know why Ijin's men ambushed him. Ijin doesn't even bother responding, just stares down at him, and honestly, he doesn't seem to care. The attacker's face is all messed up, covered in blood, and he's clearly in serious pain. Ijin's expression is stone cold, eyes narrowed. This dude is a straight-up beast in combat. Ijin scoffs, straight up refusing to answer the attacker's question. This dude is so cold. He says he'll never tell and then suddenly grabs the attacker's arm. It happens so fast. A sickening crack echoes as Ijin twists the attacker's arm, and the guy's face contorts in pain. Ijin demands an answer, but the attacker just yells, "Screw you, talk about defiant." Another crack rings out, this time from the attacker's wrist, and he's screaming now, brutal. The attacker falls, clutching his broken arm, but Ijin doesn't let up, he's still looming over him. Ijin grabs the attacker's hand, and we see a close-up of blood smeared across his fingers. Gross. The floor is covered in blood, and honestly, this dude brought it on himself. Ijin tightens his grip, and the attacker's face is a mask of agony. No mercy from our boy. Another bone snaps, and the attacker's eyes widen in shock. It's just relentless. The attacker, battered and broken, finally cracks. He's willing to talk, saying, "Okay, I'll talk." He spills the beans. Someone wanted him to make sure Ijin was completely taken out. No way. Ijin's face is unreadable, but he's clearly processing this new info. Who ordered the hit? The attacker keeps talking, explaining his boss just wanted to confirm Ijin was bedridden. Seriously. Ijin doesn't respond, he just turns and walks away, leaving the guy to wallow in his pain, cold as ice. We cut to Ijin walking the hospital halls, and it's clear he's headed somewhere specific. A confrontation is brewing. He finds a room, 501, and cautiously opens the door. It's dark, and someone is lying in the bed. It's a guy bandaged up, eyes closed, looking seriously injured. But who is he, and what's going on? Ijin stares down at the injured man, his expression unreadable, but you can feel the tension building. Ijin just stands there silent, and the injured man remains unconscious. The scene is super unsettling. Ijin's on the phone, and he's livid when he hears who's behind this, Congressman Jin Bi. He's absolutely floored, but he quickly snaps back to attention. This is bigger than he thought. The injured guy in the bed suddenly jolts awake, and Ijin's eyes narrow. He's about to get some answers. The injured man reveals he didn't know who Congressman B was at the time, but after digging, he found out B ordered the hit on him. Ijin demands to know how he found this out, and the injured man explains that the people trying to silence him spilled the beans. Ijin is reeling. The person who confessed originally wasn't the right one, and this whole thing is a setup. The injured man recounts that B ordered the hit, and Ijin can't believe someone would target his son. Straight up insane. Ijin's face is a mask of fury, and you can tell this dude is about to explode. B messed with the wrong family. He grips the phone tighter, and his eyes blaze with a dangerous intensity. This is about to get messy. Ijin's expression is ice cold, and he's clearly plotting his next move. Congressman B is in serious trouble. Ijin learns Congressman B tried to silence the witness after realizing he was the one who saw the hit and run. This dude is furious, clenching his phone so hard you think it's gonna shatter. He's barely holding it together. He's on the phone, demanding answers and letting them know B is playing with fire, but he also wants the witness safe. The witness explains B wanted to ensure he was discredited and couldn't cause any more trouble. Classic cover-up attempt. The witness is clearly shaken, but Ijin's voice is solid, promising to catch the real culprit and keep him protected. Ijin's face is grim, but he says he's got it handled, giving the witness a small nod of assurance. Our boy is all business. Ijin hangs up, then immediately slumps back in his chair. The weight of this situation is clearly hitting him hard. But he doesn't stay down for long. Ijin quickly composes himself, a steely glint returning to his eyes. He's tapping away on his phone, probably already digging into Congressman B's dirty secrets. This is gonna be good. Ijin's expression is stone cold, and you know Congressman B is about to regret everything. Seriously, he messed up big time. So this older guy is grilling someone about being a witness. It's intense, and he's clearly not impressed. He's looking at a photo of Ijin, our boy, and seems annoyed, thinking Ijin's a nosy kid with a ruined future. The guy straight up tosses Ijin's file across the desk, total disrespect, and his assistant confirms it's Ijin. The boss is fuming, saying this dimwit messed up and now everything's gone sideways, which is a bad sign. Suddenly, Ijin walks into the office and everyone is shocked. What is he even doing here? The boss is losing it, eyes blazing, and looks like he's about to explode with anger. No way he's happy to see Ijin. Ijin just stands there looking unbothered and someone shouts, "What the hell? This is about to get messy." Ijin is standing there looking calm and collected, but the boss is still absolutely furious. Someone asks what Ijin is doing there, and it's a legit question because this dude is walking into a lion's den. The boss is ranting about how this guy couldn't even do his job, and now everything is falling apart, honestly. The boss is spilling everything. Turns out Congressman B commissioned him to put Ijin in the hospital, like, seriously injure him. He wanted Ijin bedridden no matter how it happened, and emphasizes knocked real good in the head. Talk about a messed up request. Ijin finally speaks up, asking what's going on, but the boss just stares him down, completely shocked by his sudden appearance. The assistant is losing it, yelling about that voice. Clearly, Ijin's presence is sending everyone into a frenzy. Ijin's expression is icy and he's looking straight at the assistant, but the boss is still trying to process what's happening. The assistant's eyes narrow. He's definitely not thrilled to see Ijin, and something tells me he's hiding something. The boss is screaming, demanding to know what Ijin means by this, and honestly, it's a legit question. Ijin's face is stone cold and he's staring daggers at the assistant. This is about to go down, I can feel it. The boss is freaking out, mouth open in a silent scream, and it's clear he realizes he messed up big time. Ijin's eyes are glowing and he's got this terrifying look. No way is the assistant getting out of this unscathed. Ijin straight up asks if they thought he'd just accept a hit-and-run accusation, and the boss is done. He wants nothing to do with this. The assistant tries to cut things off, saying threatening a congressman is a bad idea, but Ijin isn't hearing it. Ijin drops a bomb. He's got Seong Hunju's phone, the guy they were supposed to silence him with. He's holding up the phone, explaining it has records of all their calls, and honestly, that's a checkmate move. The assistant reaches for the phone, face contorting, looking absolutely terrifying. This is about to get messy. He demands the phone and the password, but Ijin just stares him down, completely unfazed. Bro is ice cold. Ijin explains he's protecting the assistant in case his client decides to betray him, which is a wild twist. The assistant's face is a mask of rage and blood, and he's lunging for Ijin. No way this ends well. Ijin's down on the ground, but he's still calm, and the assistant is right on top of him, looking unhinged. The assistant's eyes are wild and intense, and it's clear he's lost it. This dude is a ticking time bomb. The assistant thinks he can take Ijin down, but our boy just smacks him, straight up flooring him with one hit. Ijin's holding up the phone, and he's explaining it doesn't just have records of the hit, it's a full recording. He's laying down the law. All this assistant is doing is proving he teamed up with a thug to threaten an innocent man. The boss is furious and his face is turning red as he glares at the assistant. This is escalating fast. The boss tries to defend himself, claiming he had no idea about any of this, but Ijin isn't buying it. Ijin's not letting up. He's going to make sure the boss pays for trying to get rid of him. The assistant is on the ground, gasping for air, and Ijin's looming over him. No mercy. Ijin reveals the phone also contains proof of the boss ordering the hit, and honestly, this dude had it coming. The boss is screaming, trying to deny everything, but Ijin is just staring him down. It's over for him. Ijin is absolutely ruthless. This dude isn't just going to get a slap on the wrist, he's going down hard. The assistant is scrambling for the phone, but Ijin is faster. He snatches it right out of his grasp. The boss is losing it, yelling at the assistant to get the phone back, but this dude is already toast. The assistant makes a desperate dash towards Ijin, hoping to reclaim the evidence, but our boy is ready. Ijin delivers a brutal kick, sending the assistant flying. No way he's getting up after that. The assistant goes down hard, crashing into the furniture, and it's a total mess. Ijin doesn't even flinch. He's completely unfazed by the chaos he just unleashed. The boss is absolutely speechless, staring at the scene unfolding before him, and honestly, he deserves it. Ijin standing over the fallen assistant, completely in control. This is a power move. The assistant is still trying to reach for the phone, but he's completely out of it. Ijin's already walking away, leaving the assistant in a heap, cold-blooded but satisfying. The boss is ranting about threats, but Ijin just stares him down, total ice in his veins. Ijin casually tells him he brought this on himself and straight up warns him about how powerless he's about to feel. He's flexing on the boss, promising him a reality check. This dude is not playing games. The boss is clenching his fists, looking like he's about to explode, but Ijin doesn't even flinch. Ijin delivers the final blow, stepping over the wreckage of the assistant, and it's so satisfying. Ijin's assistant rushes in, explaining he came as soon as he got the message, loyal as always. The boss is still reeling, but he tries to play it cool, ordering his assistant to handle things. However, the assistant just stares at the scene, completely shocked, and honestly, he should be. An older man in a plaid suit is visiting Congressman B, and it's straight up awkward because he mentions his grandnephew. Congressman B is totally thrown, asking what the heck he's talking about, and the old man explains the kid is his grandson. The old man is looking around, searching for his grandnephew, and Congressman B is visibly panicking. He asks if this is about Ijin, and the old man confirms it, but B is acting like he has no idea who Ijin even is. The old man says Ijin is the grandson of one of the chairman's siblings, and our boy Ijin is just standing there, looking confused. Congressman B is losing it, questioning how this is possible, and the old man is giving him a serious side-eye. B is still stammering, trying to play it cool, but this dude is a mess, and the old man is clearly not buying it. He demands to know what's going on, and Ijin is just standing there, looking totally lost in the drama. Congressman B explodes, asking what the old man wants, and honestly, this dude had it coming. The old man is stone-faced, saying he just wanted to see if Ijin was doing well, but B is clearly hiding something big. The old man takes a step forward, and Congressman B's security detail immediately tenses up. Things are about to pop off. Congressman B is losing his cool, yelling for them to wait, but the old man is stone cold, ordering them to move forward. The old man tells everyone to get going, and Ijin just stands there, looking totally bewildered by the escalating tension. We get a closer look at the old man, and he's radiating pure authority. This isn't a friendly visit. Ijin is still just standing there, a total picture of composure, while everyone around him is freaking out. The old man is walking with purpose, and Ijin follows, but Congressman B is desperately trying to stop them. Congressman B is begging the old man to wait, but this dude is determined, and his security is right behind him. The old man's security team moves in, and Congressman B is suddenly engulfed in darkness. No way. We get a close-up of the security team member, and he looks absolutely menacing. This is straight-up intimidation. The old man straight-up identifies himself to Congressman B. It's his party leader, and things are about to get messy. He's furious, demanding to know why B messed with Ijin, and accusing him of being embarrassed by it. B is visibly shaken, stuttering and sweating as the old man lays into him, but he tries to play it cool. The old man doesn't want to hear it, cutting B off and declaring the other party members will cut ties too. He insists everyone is scared of the consequences of being associated with B. Harsh, but probably true. B hangs up the call, and our boy Ijin is left standing there, totally unfazed as always. Suddenly, the police burst in, rushing towards Ijin. What even is happening right now? Ijin immediately takes off, dodging the officers and making a beeline for the exit. The cops are hot on his heels, but Ijin is weaving through the chaos like a pro. One officer is closing in, but Ijin is already gone, leaving them in the dust. This dude is a ghost. The old man's security detail corners Ijin, and he's getting absolutely grilled about taking bribes. But it gets worse. They're accusing him of protecting the guy who almost killed his brother. No way. Ijin tries to explain it's all a misunderstanding, but the old man shuts him down instantly. Suddenly, two more suited guys walk in, and one asks how the old man even knew to come here. The old man explains he was nearby when he heard about what happened to Ijin. Convenient timing much. The new guy just stares at Ijin, assessing the situation, and honestly, this dude looks kinda shady. The old man tells his team it's fine, asking what's going on, but something feels off. Someone on the phone reports that Ijin is in a bit of a pickle, understatement of the year. Ijin is totally trapped, but our boy doesn't look worried at all. However, the security detail is getting tense, and Ijin is about to be in the middle of a serious power play. The old man thanks Ijin, but the driver is straight up suspicious of everything going on. The driver asks if they're headed to the old man's house, and Ijin looks totally confused. The old man presses Ijin, asking if he's on his way to his place. This is getting intense. Ijin looks back, questioning the old man, but something is definitely off with his expression. The old man's assistant asks if the drive was too long, but the old man just ignores her. The old man and the driver are giving Ijin the side eye. Bro, they're plotting something. The old man asks if they are headed to his house, and Ijin just stares back, totally bewildered. Ijin's still questioning the old man, but he's getting zero answers. This dude is playing games. The driver unlocks the car door, and Ijin starts to get out, but the old man stops him. Ijin and this girl just randomly bumped into each other on the street, and now they're walking into the old man's place together. Sketchy. The old man waves them in, but Ijin has absolutely no clue who this girl is or why they are here together. The girl asks what's going on, and Ijin admits he's clueless, but then she drops a bomb. They didn't even know each other. She explains her grandpa invited a friend over and they were cooking, but honestly, this whole situation is super weird. Ijin looks totally lost and the old man is just staring at him. Something is definitely brewing and our boy is caught in the middle. Okay, so our boy Ijin is straight up being appointed as Seo-ha's manager and bodyguard. No cap. They're cruising through the city in a van and it's giving serious secret agent vibes, complete with a vroom sound effect. Ijin's getting the assignment from Seo-ha herself, but her assistant is already side-eyeing the decision, which is fair. Seo-ha insists she can handle the scheduling herself, saying she doesn't have many gigs coming up, but honestly, that feels like a trap. The assistant is not buying it, voicing her concerns about letting Ijin manage Seo-ha, and she's got a point. Ijin's all stoic and reserved, but you can tell he's bracing for chaos because his job is definitely not easy. The assistant is convinced Ijin deserves a vacation, but she's clearly worried about what he'll do with all that free time. Seo-ha tries to reassure everyone, but the assistant is still skeptical, and honestly, so am I. Something's brewing. Ijin looks completely unfazed, but the assistant's face says it all. She knows this is gonna be a disaster. But seriously, this dude is a trained mercenary, so even managing is probably gonna involve some serious skills. Seo-ha reveals she went to the States for a movie shoot, and Ijin is visibly shocked, like really shocked. Ijin asks how she's been, and she says she got cast by an American director, which is huge. She explains the director connected her with industry people so she could get more work. Smart move, Seo-ha. Seo-ha then casually asks if Ijin is curious about what she's been up to, and honestly, the tension is building. Ijin gives her a side eye and she's straight up asking if he's gonna act surprised like usual. She knows him. Ijin responds with like I always do, and you can see he's trying to play it cool, but it's not working. Seo-ha is giving him a look and it's clear she wants a reaction. This is gonna be good. She's dropping hints about the shoot, and Ijin is definitely trying to figure out what she's getting at. However, it's clear Seo-ha is testing him, trying to get a rise out of our boy. She's playful, but also calculating. Ijin remains stoic, but you can tell he's not falling for it. This dude is a master of keeping a straight face. They pull up to the film set and Seo-ha asks Ijin if he's sure he's okay to film right away. She remembers he was working late yesterday. Ijin brushes it off, saying the shoot delay was because of his schedule and he wants to get things moving ASAP. Classic Ijin. Seo-ha thanks him, saying it'll make the director's job easier, and notes they already did table reads, so lines shouldn't be an issue. The director approaches and Seo-ha is immediately all business. She's a pro, no doubt. Ijin's attention drifts to a guy walking through the crowd, and he's instantly on high alert. Something's off. The guy with the bag bumps into someone, causing a commotion, and Ijin's eyes narrow. Bro is scanning for threats. Ijin's senses are tingling and he's focused on the guy with the bag, ignoring the director's instructions. This is gonna be interesting. The director tries to explain a scene, but Ijin is clearly preoccupied and Seo-ha notices. She's giving him a pointed look. Ijin zones out the director completely, his gaze fixed on the guy, and Seo-ha is straight up annoyed. This dude is impossible. However, Ijin abruptly snaps back to attention, apologizing and claiming he was just thinking about the lines. Smooth recovery, Ijin. Seo-ha recognizes the guy and straight up tells Ijin he's someone she used to work with. Things are about to get awkward. The guy, whose name is apparently Jinwoo, looks shocked to see Ijin and asks if they've met before. He's clearly rattled. Ijin keeps his cool, calmly stating he's never met Jinwoo, but Seo-ha backs him up. She's got his back for now. Jinwoo seems to buy it, but he's still acting weird, mumbling about how Ijin looks familiar. Something is definitely off with this dude. Seo-ha smoothly explains Ijin is the new actor for the role, and Jinwoo's face falls. He's realizing Ijin is his competition. Ijin offers a polite greeting, but Jinwoo barely acknowledges him and walks off looking frustrated. This rivalry is brewing fast. Seo-ha's annoyed by Jinwoo's attitude, but Ijin is already back to scanning the crowd. Our boy doesn't trust anyone. Seo-ha asks Ijin what he was looking at, and he claims he was just checking the set. Smooth, but we know he's still on high alert. He doesn't seem convinced, but lets it slide and tells him everything was fine before. She's trying to read him. However, Seo-ha's expression softens as she looks at Ijin, and she admits it's good to be working with him again. There's more to this than just business. Jinwoo is seriously questioning Ijin's role, muttering about how someone with that face is a bodyguard. He's not buying it. Seo-ha shuts it down immediately, straight up telling Jinwoo Ijin is her bodyguard. No room for debate. Ijin calmly steps forward, offering a polite greeting and confirming he's Seo-ha's bodyguard. Smooth operator. Seo-ha's giving off a vibe like she's totally enjoying messing with Jinwoo. She's playing with fire. Jinwoo seems stunned but quickly recovers, and Ijin's gaze doesn't leave him. Our boy is always watching. Ijin casually scans the surrounding area while Seo-ha questions his intensity. He's never truly off duty. Seo-ha tries to reassure Ijin everything is fine, but he's clearly not convinced. He trusts his instincts always. However, Seo-ha's expression softens and she admits she's glad to be working with him again. There's a connection here. Ijin's looking at Jinwoo again, and honestly, this dude is giving off major bad vibes. Ijin offers a friendly greeting to Jinwoo, but straight up reveals he's also Seo-ha's bodyguard. Double duty. Ijin sizing up Jinwoo and straight up asks for a sparring session, talk about a power move. Seo-ha is totally shocked, yelling, "Wait, what?" She did not see that coming. Seo-ha's freaking out, explaining they can't risk him getting hurt before filming. Priorities, right? Jinwoo's muttering something about how now that Seo-ha said it like that, he's clearly intrigued. Ijin calmly states he's Ijin Yu, short, sweet, and a little intimidating, honestly. He's totally playing it cool, but his eyes are locked on Jinwoo. This dude is a threat. Ijin's gaze sweeps the area, still assessing everything. You know he's always on alert. Seo-ha tries to play it off, saying she's glad Ijin's here, but he's not buying it. He sees right through her. Ijin's still focused on Jinwoo, and it's clear he doesn't trust him. Our boy has a sixth sense. He offers a polite greeting and repeats he's Seo-ha's bodyguard, just cementing his position, bro. Okay, so Jinwoo just heard Seo-ha and is straight up panicking. He's asking if they have stunt doubles. But he's clearly realizing this whole situation is way more intense than he thought, and Ijin is totally watching him. Ijin's just wrapped up a crazy photo shoot and everyone's thanking him for pulling off those insane stunts. Apparently, he's a natural. He's super humble about it, just glad he could help, but honestly, this dude's got skills we haven't even seen yet. Things get weird fast. Someone flinches as if they've spotted something, and the atmosphere shifts instantly. The group starts saying their goodbyes, and Ijin's walking with a girl and a silver-haired dude, looking all serious. They're getting their farewells in, but the silver-haired guy seems off, staring intently at Ijin as they walk. And then out of nowhere, the silver-haired dude straight up asks if Ijin isn't something, and the tension is real. The girl looks confused and Ijin's expression is unreadable, but you can feel the heat rising between these three. The silver-haired guy keeps pressing and Ijin's definitely picking up on the hostility. This isn't just a friendly chat. He's walking away, but the silver-haired dude is following, and it's clear this conversation isn't over. However, it looks like Ijin's just walking off into the night, leaving this whole situation behind him for now. Ijin brushes off the silver-haired guy's question about being a celebrity, but bro is not buying it. The silver-haired dude keeps staring, assessing Ijin, and it's seriously creeping him out like intense scrutiny. He asks Ijin if he's sure he doesn't want to be a celebrity, pointing out his face is perfect for it, but Ijin isn't interested. Silver-haired guy suddenly grins, handing Ijin a business card. This feels like a trap, honestly. He invites Ijin for a meal, offering to treat, but Ijin's totally giving off leave me alone vibes. The silver-haired dude leans in close, whispering something in Ijin's ear. It's a super intense moment. Ijin's face is unreadable, but a woman nearby is clearly noticing all the tension between them. The woman looks distressed and Ijin's hand is covering her mouth, like he's silencing her. No way. Ijin seems to be warning her about something and she looks absolutely terrified, staring off into the night. But the silver-haired guy is just standing there, watching everything, and it's clear this is far from over. Okay, so the silver-haired guy is laying it on thick. The movie crew thinks Ijin is him, like a doppelganger. He says the crew doesn't warm up to people easily, and neither does Ijin Yu, which is ominous, honestly. But the woman in the car is straight up studying Ijin, and her gaze is super intense. She's definitely hiding something. She explains the role she offered Ijin was a bust, not worth pursuing, which feels like a total deflection. Ijin seems totally unfazed, but his face is giving off a I'm processing vibe. This dude doesn't show emotion easily. The woman reveals the crew noticed the resemblance, and it's clear she's trying to figure out Ijin's connection. However, she's also implying something bigger is going on, and it's seriously stressing Ijin out. Ijin admits the offer really bothered him, like it threw him off his game, and he's clearly not used to being rattled. She's giving him a knowing look, and I'm getting major she knows more than she's letting on vibes. Her boy is driving away, but his face in the rearview mirror is a total mask. This whole situation is escalating fast. The woman in the car casually drops that Ijin is a pretty good listener, like surprisingly good. The driver, who's been silent, assures Ijin everything he says will stay confidential, which is a little creepy. Ijin looks genuinely confused by that statement, and honestly same, what's the deal with these guys? The woman suddenly bursts out laughing, and it's a total mood shift. She's clearly amused by something. She then reveals that if only 032 listened as well as Ijin, things would be a lot easier, and now we're getting names. She admits 032 worries her a lot, but the driver is totally unfazed, staring straight ahead. The driver finally speaks up, saying he has no idea what 032 even likes or dislikes. This is wild. But the driver's face is giving off major I know everything vibes, and he's clearly hiding something big. She's saying 032 is a real problem, and Ijin's listening intently. It's like a secret code is unfolding. Our boy is processing all of this, but it's clear this whole conversation is about to explode. Ijin's trying to act normal, but he admits he gets the heebie-jeebies when 032 stares at him, seriously. He insists he isn't scared of anyone, but 032 is a different story, and honestly, fair enough. He's telling them he can't control them anymore, and the tension is thick. What's going on? The driver looks totally unbothered, but the woman is worried 032 is spiraling out of control. She's saying they were already rebellious, but it's getting worse every single day. This is bad. The driver reveals he needs to find a way to keep them in check, and his creepy smile is sending chills. We get a shot of the shadowy figure again, and it's clear whatever they are, it's seriously messed up. Ijin is getting a serious look, and the woman is explaining something, but it's cut short. The car is speeding off, and the shadowy figure is still looming. No way this is over. Ijin is staring out the window, totally lost in thought, and bro is clearly processing some heavy stuff. Ijin's explaining his place has been empty for a long time, trying to downplay things. It's kinda awkward. The woman looks shocked, and it's clear she's reading between the lines. She suspects something's up. The driver nods, acting all cool, but he's definitely agreeing with the woman's unspoken concerns. This is sus. Ijin keeps his expression tight, and the woman is clearly unnerved by his whole vibe. She's getting serious second thoughts. He's staring out the window again, lost in thought, but this time it's different. It's like he's bracing for something. The woman is clearly freaked out now, and she's glancing at Ijin with a worried expression. Uh-oh. Ijin gives a curt nod and casually says of course, but straight up, it feels like a threat. Chills, man. She's totally shaken, staring out the window with a tear rolling down her cheek. This dude is a walking red flag. Okay, so everyone's buzzing about a potential class trip, and Ijin's totally zoned out, trying to figure out what's going on. Turns out Ijin's getting a mysterious email with coordinates, and it's not for some fun sightseeing trip, trust me. He's instantly on edge, bro, like something's seriously wrong, and his face is giving it away. A girl asks him what's up, but Ijin's already processing, realizing he's been sent somewhere specific. Suddenly, this other dude, Jinwoo, shows up, radiating creepy energy with a glowing blue aura. No way. Ijin's instincts kick in immediately, and he's analyzing Jinwoo, realizing this isn't a normal encounter. Jinwoo confesses he didn't know about Ijin's past, but Ijin is already 3 steps ahead, seeing right through him. The girl Sierra explains Jinwoo's been acting weird for a while, but not this weird. It's escalating fast. Ijin gets the address from Sierra's email and is already mentally preparing for a fight, because of course he is. Ijin's got that focused look, and honestly, he's about to unleash on whoever sent Jinwoo. This is gonna be good. It's 5 a.m. and Sierra's freaking out because Ijin is supposed to be leaving for the trip. Ijin brushes it off, saying he's got other stuff to deal with, straight up ignoring the class trip. Suddenly, a click sound echoes and Ijin's eyes narrow, realizing something's been activated. He mutters Ijin under his breath, totally suspicious of who or what just triggered that sound. Ijin's already piecing things together, and it's clear this isn't about the class trip at all. He's seriously focused, and you can tell he's bracing for whatever's coming next. Sierra asks what's going on, but Ijin doesn't even bother explaining. He's already in problem-solving mode. Ijin's got that intense stare down, and he's clearly preparing to handle whatever Jinwoo is involved in. He's got to leave in a few hours, but honestly, that trip is the last thing on his mind right now. Ijin calmly states he had other stuff to deal with, and bro, he's about to deal with it hard. 5 bodyguards from Team 3 are already at the airport, prepping for Yona's safety, and they're planning to blend in. They're gonna follow Ijin and the class, but stay hidden. This dude is taking precautions seriously. Ijin and another guy, Daein, are talking, and Ijin admits they initially thought they could handle Yona's protection alone. But recent events and the international trip changed things, so they're bringing in the big guns. Smart move. Sierra's annoyed Ijin was up until 5 a.m., and he casually drops that he packed her stuff. Talk about a smooth operator. Sierra asks how he knew about the trip, and Ijin just says everyone knows, which is kinda sus, honestly. Sierra looks shocked, and you can tell she's starting to realize Ijin's been keeping secrets. Uh-oh. Ijin reaches for a stack of cash, a lot of cash, and it's clear he's ready to throw money at whatever problem arises. He hands Sierra the money, and no way is that just for spending. This dude is probably paying someone off. Ijin is straight up prepping for a fight, and honestly, this whole situation is about to explode. Ijin's dad is handing him the cash, saying he figured he'd forget it on the way to work. Smooth save, pops. Ijin asks if it's not enough and straight up offers to add more money. This dude is serious. Dad says it's plenty, and Ijin hands over a stack of 50,001 bills. That's a lot of cash. He's prepping for a fight, no doubt, and Sierra's dad is right there, looking on with a knowing smile. Sierra's dad casually joins them, and Ijin is clearly expecting some kind of trouble. He's always ready. They walk towards Terminal 2, and it looks like everyone's getting ready to board the plane. Finally, some travel. The group heads down the jet bridge, and people are joking about someone being on the wrong flight, but Ijin isn't amused. But wait, a blonde guy is suddenly standing there looking directly at Ijin, and he's got that intense stare. He introduces himself as Chandra, and our boy is immediately sizing him up. Something's off with this guy. Chandra calmly says of course, and Ijin's face is stone cold. This dude is definitely a threat. Ijin asks if this is Chandra's first time here, and a woman beside him confirms it's hers too. They're both new to this place. The woman suggests they make the most of their free time, but Ijin's dad immediately predicts they'll be stuck at the hotel. He continues, saying they'll definitely need a guide whenever they venture out. This trip is already sounding rough. However, Ijin's mom jumps in, saying she's been here before, and Chandra seems genuinely surprised. Wait, what? Chandra asks what she does, and she casually reveals she's a historian specializing in the area. Okay, that's kinda sus. Ijin's mom explains she's researching a local historical figure, and Chandra's response is unusually intense. Chandra says he knows the figure well, and Ijin is straight up locking onto him. Our boy is sensing major danger. Ijin asks Chandra what he does for a living, and this dude replies he's an investor. Sketchy much. Chandra casually mentions he's investing in a company related to the historical figure, and Ijin's mom looks concerned. Ijin is now full-on glaring at Chandra, and something tells me this investor is about to become a problem. Plane is taking off and everyone's hyped for their vacation, but Ijin is laser-focused on Chandra. Through the window, Ijin spots a plane with a familiar red tail. It's the same one Chandra arrived on. The plane speeds up and Ijin's dad notices the excited chatter. It really does sound like a party back there. Ijin's dad comments on the noise, but Ijin is still zeroed in on Chandra, convinced something is wrong. The plane is airborne and the passengers are celebrating, but Ijin is straight up analyzing Chandra's every move. Inside the cockpit, Ijin's dad is piloting and everything seems normal, but the tension is building. Ijin's dad casually mentions the party, but then he says something that makes it clear he's also suspicious. He thinks Chandra is more than just an investor, and our boy Ijin already knew that. Ijin's dad is definitely onto Chandra now, and this trip is about to get way more complicated. Okay, so our boy Ijin is scoping out this super secure facility. It's like a fortress built into a mountain. He's flying over it in a helicopter, getting the lay of the land, and it's seriously intense security, no joke. Ijin touches down on the facility's flat roof, which is basically a hidden runway. This dude is straight up fearless. He's moving through the compound, surrounded by armed guards, but Ijin is a ghost, blending right in. He's meeting with this high-ranking official, a stern-looking guy, and things are tense. They're clearly discussing something big. Ijin's getting intel, learning about a secret weapon project, but honestly, this official looks like he's hiding something. Suddenly, Ijin's earpiece crackles. He's getting a message, and he's immediately on high alert. Something's about to go down. He realizes he's been played. The official set him up, but Ijin isn't falling for it. He's already planning his counterattack. Ijin disarms the guards with insane speed. It's like watching a masterclass in combat. They didn't even see it coming. He corners the official, who's now sweating bullets, and Ijin's just intimidating, demanding answers, and bro, this guy is terrified. Ijin presses the call button and a flight attendant shows up, but something feels seriously off to him. He thinks they can't be hasty since they're on a plane, but Ijin's instincts are screaming danger. The flight attendant just stares blankly, and it's creepy AF. Ijin's totally onto him now. Suddenly, the plane starts to rise at an insane angle, and everyone is thrown back in their seats. Ijin immediately jumps into action, scanning the cabin, realizing this isn't turbulence, it's an attack. He starts moving through the plane, checking the back while his partner keeps watch. They are a lethal duo. Ijin spots something suspicious near the cockpit, and it's clear this flight isn't going where it's supposed to. He's analyzing the situation, realizing the pilot is likely compromised, and this is straight up hijacking. Ijin's already formulating a plan to take back control, but he needs to be careful. Too many innocent lives at stake. And honestly, this is about to get messy. Ijin is about to unleash hell on this plane. The flight attendant tries to close the cockpit door, but she flinches like someone's got a gun to her head. She tells everyone to stay seated, but she's clearly spooked, and Ijin is right there, sizing her up. Ijin demands she explain what's happening, and the other attendant is giving her the side eye. Something's definitely up. Passengers start freaking out, asking if they are going to take everyone's phones, and honestly, it's a valid question. Another passenger is losing it, demanding to know what's going on, but Ijin is already way ahead of them. Ijin realizes they're trying to cut off communications, and this dude is already planning his counterattack. He's assessing the situation, and bro, he's not worried. Ijin is built different. He's got a plan brewing, but he knows he needs to be precise. Innocent lives are on the line. The attendant tries to play it cool, but Ijin sees right through her act. This is getting intense. Ijin is straight up staring her down, and the tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Ijin thanks the attendant, but passengers are murmuring. They're definitely onto something now. One passenger calls out "sir" and is giving the attendant a seriously suspicious look. The attendant tries to brush it off, offering a forced thank you, but her smile doesn't reach her eyes. Ijin scans the cabin, assessing the situation. He's not buying any of this, and neither are we. The attendant is taking a roll call, asking for phones, but it's clear she's trying to control the situation. Passengers start questioning what's happening, and Ijin is already thinking several steps ahead. He realizes they're trying to isolate communications, and this dude is ready to shut them down. Ijin walks down the aisle, ignoring the stares, and honestly, he's totally in his element. He stops near the cockpit door, staring down the attendant. The tension is insane right now. Ijin demands an explanation, and the attendant is straight up sweating. She's about to crack. Ijin confirms with another passenger that they tried to move to the back but were blocked. Something is seriously off. Ijin says he's also blocked, and the passenger straight up suggests the plane might be hijacked. No way. Ijin is analyzing the flight attendants. They are smiling, but he sees the nervousness in their eyes and knows something's wrong. A passenger asks what Ijin means, and Ijin is already piecing it all together. This dude doesn't miss a thing. Ijin states he hates thinking about it, but collecting phones definitely means this plane has been hijacked. It's happening. He points out the flight attendants are suspiciously watching everyone and even have one hand behind their backs. Ijin's convinced they're holding a gun, ready to react instantly if anything goes down. Talk about high stakes. Ijin is studying the attendant's eyes, and you can tell he's calculating every possible outcome. Our boy is a machine. He sees a bead of sweat roll down her cheek. She's trying to hide her fear, but Ijin isn't fooled for a second. Ijin narrows his eyes, and we know this dude is about to take control of the situation. Get ready for action. Ijin is losing it. He demands to know why they are taking phones, even after he turned his off. Another passenger tries to reason with the attendants, saying fighting could get people hurt. Smart thinking. Ijin straight up refuses to listen, and the attendant tries to politely ask for cooperation. Yeah, hey, good luck with that. She tries to get closer, but Ijin is not having it. He tells her to back off, no hesitation. This attendant is not messing around. She stomps her foot, trying to intimidate Ijin, but he doesn't even flinch. Then she actually slaps Ijin, and honestly, this dude had it coming. He was pushing her buttons. But Ijin reacts instantly. He grabs her wrist, and you can see the force behind it is insane. The attendant is clearly shocked by the force, eyes wide with fear. She didn't expect that response. We get a close-up of the attendant's uniform, and the tension is still thick. This is about to escalate quickly.